Catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan scratch it. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. Catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it.
What you know about classic music?
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Retro Wrestling Review Series for WWF, or WWE nowadays, but it was WWF at the time, SummerSlam 1992. And my first retro in a long time. I haven't done a retro since WrestleMania 30, like over 2 years ago, so I'm pretty excited to be back doing retros again. And let's introduce the guest we have / co-host for this Retro Wrestling Review Series. First, we have the person that is going to be getting questioned about what happened on this show. The person who actually lives in the, he lives in the country that the show took place in. The person that loves to troll everybody. It's, I don't know what to call him.
Just call him Kuzon Jack. Something, anything.
That is incredible.
I should have asked that ahead of time, but I had it going good until because I.
That's fair. That's fair. In fairness, I probably should have introduced him. But yeah, we got Jack. We got Kuzon in the studios.
That's like that couldn't have gone like any better.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
It's like the old
hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
And then we have the co-host who's editing this show when it comes out. The person who's been on the Wrestling Rundown and everything since 2015, the person who's different, the person that loves all things AEW and hates WWE since I've known him. We have James the He-Man Heber. How are you today?
I'm great. I wouldn't say I hate... Well, I hate WWE now, but AEW didn't exist back then, so how am I going to love something that didn't exist for like years? What do you mean?
The elite were a thing, so... You know,
okay, yeah, fair point. Fair point. I did like All In before AEW. I guess that's true. And Ring of Honor.
And I'm the host, Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm the one that picked this show. I picked SummerSlam 1992, and I'll get into why, because usually when we do these, I like to have the person who picked the show say why. It's going to seem a little unfair, though, because like I think a lot of these shows I picked because... You know, I wanted to have...
You only picked two, though. You only picked two, as far as I know. No one picked the other one.
So, I picked this show because SummerSlam's coming up, and I always like to try to do a SummerSlam retro when I can get it out there. And I figured this is the perfect one to do because WWE is going back to the UK for the first major pay-per-view since this show. So I figured it'd be fitting to actually sit down and review the first major wrestling event that WWE/F did in the United Kingdom. And I think it made sense to do this one. This wasn't the first show in the United Kingdom. They did a few like live events and stuff in the UK, but this is the first major professional wrestling show that ever took place in the United Kingdom. Yep. And, you know, it was really cool. And Kuzon's going to get questioned a lot in this video because he's here for trivia. He's going to answer trivia questions throughout this video. I didn't prepare any. I'm just going to ask him out of nowhere, so he won't know and I won't know when they're going to get asked. So,
pretty much. That's how this is going to go. We're just going to kind of...
This is a terrible way to, like, plan that.
Honestly, that's how it is, though. We just kind of free ball. Yeah. You know, this is how we always go. But I do have a question that's more of a in general thing, because I know, Jack, you said you watched the OSW review, which will help us greatly educate us.
Oh, damn. Exposing my sources.
Exactly. Hey, listen, you know, cite your sources. It's cool. What led up to this event?
So I'm pretty sure, like, it was supposed to be in Nashville,
Yes.
from what I remember.
Actually,
And they were gonna give the belt to Michaels.
there was a couple places actually. It wasn't even just in Nashville. The other area was going to be Washington D.C. Both of those fell through because of poor ticket sales.
Yeah.
So that it was that you're not wrong there. It's funny because I think when they announced it was going to be in the UK, Brett then recommended, hey, since we're having this in the UK, why don't I drop it to my brother-in-law? And
Vince actually went for it too. He was all over that storyline, which is shocking because nowadays that wouldn't happen.
No,
so
he would have been like, I don't think so, pal. And,
yeah,
fuck some secretary or whatever and force him into something. Anyway, let me look up the pay-per-view buy because that would be good to know. To be honest, SummerSlam 1992 pay-per-view buy.
But the question I have for Cruz on is, so when this show got announced it was going to be in the UK, do you remember? You can give the real number, the number WWF likes to give you. Do you remember how many days it took for them to sell out this show? Because do you remember off the top of your head?
Remember a lot of people trying to get tickets for it pretty quickly, and it sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because at that time, like wrestling was starved.
Wow.
Because World of Sports wasn't a thing anymore, and like the British independence just wasn't a thing.
Right.
It just didn't exist. So wrestling, it was hard to come by, and the only way to get like your fill was to buy like VHS tapes. So there wasn't really any alternative other than WWF. Keep in mind, we didn't really have WCW on like TV.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to get the pay-per-view, you'd have to, not even that, you'd have to get like Sky Sports. Because remember Sky Sports had like an iron fist grip on WWF footage for years. Like so long.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they actually lost that. When did they lose that deal? Now that I think.
So they lost it mainly because of their childish like behavior when WWE were trying to launch a network.
Hmm.
And they kicked off about it, saying you signed this contract saying that we get rights to be able to show the pay-per-views without any competition.
Huh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
I remember hearing about that. The show actually sold out. I think WWF says 5 days, but it was really 6 days. But that's still a really good accomplishment. The fact that they sold the show out in 6 days, since there was no internet back then. Really, only like people who were like really rich had internet back then.
Right.
And you pretty much I think had to go to the venue and stuff and like buy these tickets and like be lucky enough.
well, you could order them like on the phone.
Yeah,
which
so-
was
and
a
stuff like that. And you could
freaking
like
nightmare from what I hear.
keep in mind like newspapers are a big thing at this time.
Right.
Newspaper newspaper companies were like earning a lot of money. Like companies like the Daily Mirror, Daily Star. Like there's so many like news. Like you could always watch the news on TV, and like it's fine. But like if you're like a proper gentleman, you'd always buy the newspaper from the paper shop, and a packet of fags and a bottle of whiskey to go with.
By the way, just to explain that, by the way, because you just said that's what they call cigarettes in the UK. He's not calling anyone by that. It means a different thing.
Oh yeah. There's some British slang that goes into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you go grab us a packet of fags. It's like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of like slang that goes into like British culture.
Yeah. Even
as much
still
as
to this day.
Well, yeah, like it's definitely, it comes with dialect and like accents and stuff like that. It comes like it's a completely different world than America. Keep in mind, and like think of it this way: WWF doing like big numbers in London, especially at what was happening at the time. Like the IRA were planning bombs like left, right, and center.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that was going on in the UK.
I'm
like a lot of
shocked.
bad stuff.
Now that you
I know.
mentioned that too, like there was bombs in the UK around this time. Like I'm shocked that there was not.
There's a lot of bombings.
I'm shocked there wasn't a report on this event, like of all events. You know,
I know, yeah.
that's crazy. I mean, maybe it was because like I don't know if it was just because they were trying to fight for independence and that's what they thought was a good idea. Which, what are you doing? You're dumb if that's what you consider a good idea. But like,
yeah, I mean, like you can get into the politics of that or whatever, but like the fact of the matter is, like being in London wasn't a safe place.
No,
like it wasn't a safe. It's still not to this day. It's hard. It's so bad.
Yeah,
but
I feel like you could say that just about everywhere in the world now. Honestly,
well, like,
it's gotten really
like
bad.
any kind of like major city, like but like with London specifically, there's like something about it that like while there's a big romanced, kind of mentality to looking at Big Ben, Buckingham Palace and all this, like stuff like obviously the iconic stuff that you go for as a tourist. But then you go into like the other areas of England, and it's kind of like you go down a dodgy. It's like Los Angeles. You go down like a dodgy alleyway. Downtown Los Angeles is horrible.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So, but no, like to put it into perspective, like a lot of bad things were happening. We were having issues with like the royal family, like having issues with, like I'm pretty sure Diana was around at this time, and she was trying to separate from the Duke of Wales,
right.
Prince Charles.
Yeah.
Which, like, I know that won't really matter like a lot to a lot of people who aren't from England, but like back then it was a really big deal.
Yeah.
So much so that like the theory goes that she was pretty much assassinated.
Yeah.
So it's not confirmed, but like like that's what goes into this. So a lot of bad stuff was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but WWE, I bet WWF at the time were like worried about what the stakes were going to be in the show with all these bombings and stuff going on and all that kind
Well,
of
I
stuff.
bet they had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, hello? Michael X?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, kids? It's friendly neighborhood Spoder Man.
Jesus
I
Christ.
come here to destroy your street. I was bitten by a regular house spider. I have like hours, minutes left to live.
Yeah, I'll kiss you, man. I don't care.
Under this mask is a man who's physically deformed by 13 years of paralysis.
Can I...
Deadpool?
Spider-Man.
Paralysis.
Okay,
Spider-Man.
before we lose the audience, Mike, or Spider-Man, I don't know. We're reviewing...
Spider-Man.
whatever you are. We're reviewing WWF SummerSlam 1992. Are you going to join us for that or no?
It fucking sucks.
What do you mean? I actually watched it. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay. Yes, the pariah of wrestling is talking, first off. So shut the fuck up.
What the fuck? No, it ain't. No, it ain't the proprietor.
I am Spoder. Listen, I am goddamn Spoder Man, okay? I shoot webs out my ass.
Whoa.
That's scary.
That's very fucking
You can look
terrifying.
right now.
Why your
You
ass
can
and
look, and you can see. You can look right now at my username. What am I called?
Do not say you've changed it to Spoder. Oh my god, you did, didn't you? No, it's the executional Michael X.
You sure about that?
He's about to change it right now. Now that I said
Yeah,
that.
he's
Are
gonna
you sure
change
about
it.
that? Because right now to me it says Spoder Man.
Hey, guess
Yeah,
what?
it's not. It's
It
not
says-
that way on my.
It's not that way on my end, but hey, it's okay. It's
Oh,
whatever.
well, whatever.
Okay, listen. Do you want to join us? Or are you gonna bounce now that you did the meme?
I will definitely be joining you folks in about
Well,
45 minutes.
what do you mean, bro? We're starting now. We're literally on recording.
Oh, well, then, I'll come right in when it happens. Don't worry about it.
We're literally recorded right now.
We're literally about to
Oh,
start
what?
the first dark match of this thing.
See,
More
see,
than
that's
likely.
great. That's fine. But I'm Spoder Man.
Okay. I see you in 45 minutes then.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, this should be an
Oh,
interesting recording session now. We're gonna have
Exactly.
s-
That's
we're
the whole,
gonna-
listen. Spoderman always says, either we have fun or I'll rob your local convenience store with a gun.
What?
Exactly.
What?
Right?
That's how we do it in America. If you do not have that Mulan sriracha sauce, I'm gonna come over to your house and beat your kids up with a
Oh
hammer.
damn!
Oh my God.
What?
That's-
What?
This is how we do it.
What? The fuck's going on, son?
This is
What
going
the
on my.
fuck,
This is going on my channel.
Oh well.
Go ahead.
No, I'm
Have
not
fun with
saying this
that.
is politically correct.
This is not politically correct in the slightest. Alright.
It's not politically correct, but I don't give a fuck.
Okay, can we go
And I
back?
go.
Can we go back to
I
our
slip
review?
away.
Alright, bye. God
Oh my
damn.
God. I guess see him in 45 minutes.
That's really cool, sir.
That's pretty good too.
You better leave this in. You better.
I'm
leave this
totally
in.
leaving it in. I'm not cutting it
Put
out.
this in the start, bro.
Yeah. Put this
All
at
right,
the
let's.
start.
I was gonna ask. So yeah, we at least Mike lightened up the mood because we were talking about what a shit show you.
Well,
the
like,
UK
okay,
was.
so, like, it's important to know what was going on at this time because it's
Yeah.
definitely relevant to, like, the vibe that was
Of
going
the
on.
show,
Absolutely.
yeah. For
Because
sure.
WWE coming to town was, like, a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it happened, like, I think only a month. Or it happened, like, yeah, just like a... Was it the same month? Or is it, like, something around that time where, like, the Queen had her, like, Ruby Jubilee or something like that? Which is, like, whenever, like, we celebrate the Queen's, like, Jubilee, it's, like, a big deal or whatever.
Mhm.
But, like, yeah, so... For this to, like, be... Especially, like, with it being in Wembley Stadium, which a lot of people seem to get confused by. Wembley Stadium now is not the same building as what this building in the show was.
Yeah.
The Wembley
Right.
Stadium that you're seeing now doesn't exist. Like, the Wembley Stadium that you see in SummerSlam 92, the building doesn't exist anymore.
Right, they
I-
rebuilt it to be a bigger stadium too, didn't they?
I'm
Pretty
pretty.
much.
I'm pretty sure I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like the very old like Wembley Stadium that existed, which is why I was so confused because like I think OSW must have had a botch because they said like over 100,000 people like were at the stadium, but I don't think that's right because everywhere else it says 80,000.
Let's-
and
so-
that's disputed.
You're
So
taking all my
the-
trivia questions, James.
The original standing capacity was 125,000, and then later it was 100,000.
Right.
Prior to it being made into an all-seated arena. So this was the all-seated arena, so it could hold 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Huh. So maybe it did then.
But I don't know if this was before or after the incident that happened in Liverpool, where like basically a load of fans like got squashed in the arena. Like
Right.
a lot of people like died because they were trying to watch watching a football or like a soccer match, and people were just being pressed up against the fence. So like I don't know if this was before or after that.
Well,
Pretty bad stuff.
honestly, considering every other freaking source I'm looking up says 80,000 in attendance, I'm gonna say that's after.
Oh, I'm gonna say like 82,000 would have been near its end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
before, so this would have been 100,000 seats.
Yeah, they say
Remember-
it says
Could've
here. Oh wow, okay. We have a. So this is the actual attendance. So it was 101,000 fans, 101,763 fans in total, where 80,676 fans actually paid.
Correct, yeah.
Their revenue here, which I think is, important to just mention. We might as well before we actually get into the review. They
Yeah.
made over 3,650,000 in revenue, and that's
Yeah.
including T-shirt sales. That's including merch sales. That's including the ticket prices. That's including pay-per-view buys. They made
Right.
a shit ton of money on this event.
Absolutely. Yeah.
WWF was really hot in the United Kingdom.
Like it was ridiculously hot by
Yeah,
this point.
This was like basically if you didn't come to the show, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of people said that as well.
Now this brings me to my next couple of trivia questions. I'm gonna cut you off because I know you're. I know you're.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So Kuzon, you're probably not gonna get this right, but I'm gonna try to ask you anyways. Do you remember when the show actually took place and when it actually aired in America? Because it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure this would have been recorded.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So do you remember like when?
I think they aired it like 2 days later.
You're correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So it was taped on August 29th, 1992, and aired on August 31st, 1992.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go.
And then do you remember what the tagline? Do you know what the tagline for this show was? Because I mean,
no,
I know
I've got no idea.
You probably don't know because WWE didn't say it 2,000 times. How effective was that?
Yeah, exactly. So the tagline was the SummerSlam you never thought you'd see.
Yeah.
Or no,
it's actually.
I'm sorry, I fucked that up. It's the SummerSlam you thought you'd never see. My apologies.
Yeah.
I fucked up the verbiage there.
Which honestly, very fitting tagline considering
everything that we just talked about. Yeah,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, they made a bunch of revenue. By the way, I just did a calculation. So if you equate this economy and put it in that time period, WWE would have made like a fucking.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, a lot of money back then was worth a lot more than what it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking if you put this economy in that time frame, they more than likely would have made like
inflation.
If you equate inflation into this, they're making like $10 million off this.
How crazy, by the way, is it?
That's fucking ridiculous. They couldn't even sniff that nowadays.
Yeah. How crazy is this, by the way? I know, but this is getting a bit off topic, by the way. The shows we're recording these today, but they're going to be out on separate dates. We're reviewing a show that's 30 years old in 1992. Then we're going to be going to review a show that's, 20 years old in 2002. How crazy! We almost have to review SummerSlam 2012 just to get all the decades of this out of the way.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about that one. I remember 2012 kind of being a
mixed bag show. Yeah,
big mixed bag show. But
anyhow, let's start talking about the professional wrestling show event in itself. Yeah, the atmosphere I just want to talk about right away was like insane for this show because it was in the UK.
They were legitimately hot for everything, even the fucking Repo Man, which I'm like, what the hell? This is ridiculous. What?
They even did this. They did the opening ceremony. You saw they actually showed like fans talking about who they were excited to see, and it wasn't one of those like, where they were like forced to say this. You could actually tell this was genuine excitement in the fans' eyes. It was.
Can we talk about the one kid? We have to mention this.
Sure.
The British the kid that said the British Bulldog's gotta win, whether he wants to or not.
That was hilarious. And he didn't,
whether he wants to or not. The kid knew. He knew that he was going to be fucked up before he went out
kid
there.
had the dirt sheets, bro.
He had dirt sheet, man. He had Dave Meltzer's fucking Inquirer, man. It was great.
What a fucking mark.
Dave Meltzer was working for him at that time.
Yeah, and maybe this was Dave Meltzer, but like his long lost cousin.
Maybe it was Dave Meltzer where the past traveled into the future at this time.
And developed an English accent, yeah.
Yeah,
bro.
Anyhow, though, let's talk about, this show. We had the commentary team of Bobby the Brain Heenan and Vince McMahon. Bobby the Brain Heenan was great on commentary. He was great as the heel commentator.
Oh, my God. Nobody doesn't like him, man. Nobody like him. He was on fire throughout the show all night, man.
We talked about it. I probably should have made that a trivia question, by the way, but that was my bad.
Go for it.
But we talked about it. We've mentioned people that have tried to do it like Heenan, and that was even an insult to Bobby Heenan when we mentioned those people.
Yeah,
like
Corey Graves or freaking Jerry Lawler, but that's about the only two people I can think of. And I'm not talking about Corey Graves now. I'm talking about NXT Corey Graves.
But like he kind of set the standard for what like a color commentator was. Right?
Yeah.
Like he made it. like I know like a lot of people will talk about like him and Gorilla Monsoon together, which they are like the perfect pairing.
Absolutely.
Who's the other guy? Vesey.
Jessie Ventura.
Jesse.
Yeah, Jessie was
Jesse
fucking
Ventura.
great too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was always really good as well.
Yeah.
But like it goes to show that like having a heel and face dynamic on a commentary table, that was what made shows interesting.
Especially when you do it well too.
Yeah, it's the problem is it's not interesting when it's done like absolute.
And he could always
Shit.
tell you when something was shit, because I
Right.
remember during the first Raw they had like the other guy, like the what's his name? I forgot
yeah,
what
that
his name. Yeah, and they
That
were like,
comedian guy. Yeah.
where did they get this guy?
Right.
Yeah.
And like he just give him shit all day,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But yeah, like Bobby's really good here.
Vince, James and I talked. Oh my gosh, Vince was awful on this show. Like
He's always shit.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
He's so bad.
His voice is so different.
Yeah, well,
We
dude,
talk-
it changes too. This is like, I'll just do an example of this. Oh, he hit a maneuver! Oh my god, he's going over the top! What the hell is going on, Hayden? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
What is
Hit
your...
it- James and
This
I
is what his
talked.
dad taught him to do.
Yeah, James and I talked about it too. He legit probably called on this whole show alone maybe like 5 moves a total. Like there
Yeah,
was
and
an arm
what-
drag, a back toss, a back body drop,
Yeah,
I think a scoop slam.
and that was it. Yeah, scoop slam. Yeah, and then, like,
Maybe a
something
soup.
else.
Did he call? I don't think he called a suplex. I'm pretty sure he didn't call a suplex.
No,
He was always more for like telling the story,
quote
right?
unquote, yeah, the story.
Yeah, he always wanted to tell the story of the match, what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Which is like...
He did that. He did that pretty good, but there were points where he didn't even do that. He didn't even
He
do that.
didn't
well
even do that
sometimes.
because he was busy fucking screaming the whole time. And then, like, seriously, the only thing that sticks out is instead of calling in an Irish whip, he sent him in for the ride. Like, that's the only thing he's good for, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Like, that's actually decently... I'll even say it's cool. Like, I might... Like, I remember... The only reason I remember that's cool is because, like, Wade Needham, when No DQ CW was a thing, kind of took that from Vince and put it in his own style. And I always remember that line, and he got it from Vince. So, like, I heard that, and I'm like, alright, yeah, cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Everything else, shit. to
Yeah.
me. Like, nothing stands out because he's just screaming like a motherfucker. Which probably made Bobby Heenan stand out that much more, honestly. In retrospect.
Now, as for where both of these guys are today, we're recording this, by the way, on July 9th, 2022. So
Yes,
this
yes.
is where they are. This is where they are at this moment. I mean, Bobby the Brain Heenan, I don't think it's going to change much unless we found out he's living in a cave somewhere, being a caveman.
Yeah, yeah, he's long gone.
Yeah, unfortunately.
R.I.P.
Yeah, he had an excellent run, some more behind the booth on commentary and stuff, and then he went over to WCW. I still remember that moment when he walked out on WCW. I
loved, even though he said he hated being a babyface commentator, loved his Goldberg call, man. Like, that will always ring in my head when I see the Goldberg spear into the jackhammer, and he wins the title from Hogan. Like, Bobby Heenan going apeshit and said, Bill Goldberg is the man! I was like, man, what a fucking moment that is, man. In front of a raucous frickin' Atlanta, Georgia dome crowd. Like, that will always ring through my head.
And then, he made some more appearances. He went into the Hall of Fame in 2005. He showed up at
His
WrestleMania
Hall of
7.
Fame speech is like probably the best.
Yeah. No
like
doubt.
He had the whole room rolling.
Yeah.
Like laughing in bed.
He's so
He's
good,
so
bro.
fucking
Bro,
funny.
if he'd never gotten cancer, I think his next career would have been a stand-up comedian. Dead serious.
Probably, yeah.
He would have been
Yeah, like-
outstanding. And then he would have gotten canceled for some of the racist shit he said.
The line of this like night is great. I just wish Gorilla Monsoon was here. And I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Like, that's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, when you hear that, and then literally not even like a few months later, he's diagnosed with cancer, isn't he?
Well, like, no, but he had surgery to sort it out.
Right.
And then I think it came back and
yeah.
he had to like get his jaw like basically taken out.
Yeah.
And then it came back again, and it was just like that was it. And then
I'm not even saying this to even be funny, but like he looked like a light bulb. It was a really sad look. Like,
he shouldn't have been in public because he was going to conventions a lot, but I feel like he
wanted to.
I'm pretty sure he fought his family to basically do that because he wanted to go out because he knew it was like it wasn't going to be long.
And honestly,
so for himself, you know,
man. Yeah,
man. Like honestly, like if you know, like at some points, like right, my days are numbered. I'm gonna have a fucking good time. Like
absolutely
good for you, man.
And then he ended up passing, unfortunately, in 2017.
Was it that late?
Yeah, it was that late.
Really?
Yeah.
He laughed.
Wow.
Bobby Heenan was a stubborn bastard, man. He would not fucking go quickly at all. He's like, nah, I ain't going this soon. I'm gonna finish my fucking commitments, bitch. That was the whole reason. He legitimately, before he passed and went on his deathbed, like finished his commitments. What a fucking pro, dude.
Him at WrestleMania 17 was incredible.
Yeah. And then, you know, as for Vince McMahon... we gotta talk about... the good, you know, he was the owner back then. He was the chairman. No one, unless you were, like, working in the dirt sheets, really knew that at the time. And then, you know, it was obviously outed after the Montreal screw job. After the Montreal screw job, and then he became the biggest heel in the business, won the Monday Night Wars, basically took over the wrestling
industry for better or worse.
Yeah, and then
I'll tell you what was good that Vince did. That he practiced the heel character of Vince McMahon in Smoky Mountain.
Yeah.
Him doing heel commentary or heel promos,
right,
while he's still in this form of like Vince McMahon.
Sure.
Him in Smoky Mountain talking about how he has the Smoky Mountain World Championship. I was like, oh, you can see it.
Yeah, you could also probably thank Rip Rogers for training him in ring as well. Because while he was there, he was actually doing training with Rip Rogers, I think, at the time.
And then, you know, obviously, there's some things that came out about Vince McMahon this past month or so that's forced him to be forced out of being chairman of WWE temporarily for now.
Abrogations LA.
Yeah, so... we'll move on from that. I don't want it to ruin this podcast.
Let's just move on. Let's just not mention that. You want to know more? Watch my video because there's going to be a video on my channel anyway. There's a video in the description that WrestleMania did that sums it up pretty well as well.
Yeah. So
there you
go. going through the dark matches. We're not going to cover these matches really in detail because we couldn't find these matches except in small clips on the WWE.com website. One of them I couldn't even find at all. I didn't even know it was a thing until after I watched the show. So I'll go over them real quick. We had Papashango versus Tito Santana. Papashango. We didn't really miss all that much. Papashango ended up getting the win. Actually, we found out... this is a good Kuzon trivia question. Do you know who Papashango's original opponent was supposed to be at SummerSlam?
No.
It was supposed to be the Texas Tornado, but I believe this is when everything started going south with, I believe it's Kerry Von Erich who was the Texas Tornado, correct?
Oh my god, was that around the same time?
Yeah, it was. This is when his drug...
Yeah, watch Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. And obviously nowadays, like I said, we're not going to rate this match because we didn't see the full match.
You can watch this match, actually. They just released like a 30th year
I
anniversary.
did see
It's
that.
not on the network, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we couldn't
I
find
think
it.
it's
did
in the
see
UK, actually. I'll try and find it.
If you can,
Yeah.
please, yeah, that would be great.
But anyhow, Papashango obviously went on to have various different gimmicks in professional wrestling. He was this gimmick. He was Kama when he was
Mustafa, which
Yeah.
he would go on to be a member of the Nation of Domination for a little bit, which then transitioned.
Underrated, honestly.
Yeah,
His Nation Domination gimmick was really good.
and it
Yeah, and then
transitioned
it-
nicely into the Godfather too, believe it or not, as well.
then he
Like,
became then he became the Good Father, and then
Best gimmick.
that gimmick rules.
and then he retired and still makes sporadic appearances
As
every
the
now and
Godfather,
then.
yeah.
Boo.
Tito
Coward.
Santana pretty much was shortly phased out of the company. He went to WCW for a little bit. He came back as El Matador. I'm pretty sure he was doing the El Matador gimmick a little bit here because he was in that attire.
Big
and
fucking
doing
nappy on his head.
Yeah, and then he left the business again. He pretty much just roams the indies, wrestling here and there, so that's good for him. Leading to the next match, it was a 6-man tag team match. It was Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Bushwhackers versus the Mountie and the Nasty Boys.
Oh man, I did.
Yeah, what?
I ended up seeing later this full match.
Yeah,
The ending was the best part.
it's not good. It's not a good match.
Why? Why open with this match?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I will say though, the crowd was fucking hot despite who was involved. Like
Yeah.
they didn't care, man. They were fucking. They really helped the match. I'll be honest.
Absolutely.
They
Absolutely.
saved that match from being a complete dumpster fire.
Wait, they showed this match? What match are we talking about?
I ended up finding it out on the I ended up watching pretty much the full match on the OSW review because they had the clips of every spot, and it just was.
Because this is listed as a dark match.
Yeah,
It is a dark match.
It is dark match. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, Hacksaw
Smack 'em,
Jim.
whack 'em.
The finish was a bit of an overbooked mess. The referee got distracted by the Nasty Boys, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan hit like an elbow drop, and then one of the
No, he tried to go for a pin. He saw the referee was distracted, and he saw that I don't know which Nasty Boy went up to the fucking top rope.
Yeah. He went for an elbow drop.
He went for an elbow drop,
Knobs.
and then he hit. Yeah, was it Knobs? I thought it was
Knobs
Sags.
or Sags.
I think it was
Saggy
Sags.
knobs.
It was Sags. So he went for the elbow drop. Duggan moved out of the way, and I think he hit the Mountie. And then they got
Yeah.
the pin after they got everybody else out of the ring. And then 1, 2, 3. That was the end of the match. Who cares?
Yeah.
The fucking state of fucking Jim Duggan. Honestly, the fucking cut of him.
Hey, leave my-
What the fuck?
Leave my
Yeah.
leave my cousin alone, man.
Yeah.
The fucking state of him.
I understand. It's Jim Duggan. What the hell do you expect, bro?
Dude fucking like was best friends with Hogan for years and never fucking job clean. Like if you look at his loss record, it's embarrassing.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, listen. He is my cousin, so I can't really say much.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, I'm not even bullshitting about that. He's like a cousin on my my dad's side of the family. I'm
What
cousin
the
with a woman
fuck?
named Jody, who fucking her fucking what do you call it? Her like other her cousin is fucking Jim Duggan. So technically related to the Heberts. I don't know how that happened. It would explain my autism, I guess.
I guess. Yeah.
Explain your love for America.
But
And
anyhow,
2x4s.
Yeah, exactly. I need to get me
But,
a 2x4 now. I gotta embrace my Duggan.
yeah.
I gotta embrace the Duggan heritage.
So Hacksaw Jim Duggan, pretty much had like a decent run in the company. Basically, his role didn't really change all that much. He went to WCW for a bit. That really didn't go anywhere.
Hold on,
either.
let's talk about Duggan for a second. Are we gonna just forget about the fact that he got in trouble with the Iron Sheik for having paraphernalia on him? Specifically,
I didn't even know
pot.
that. I didn't even know about that.
He was supposed to have like a big push, and then he got freaking outed. and it wasn't even because he had weed in his car. It was the fact that he was riding with Iron Sheik and he got caught by the cops. So
Oh my
they ended
God.
this push.
Oh, the Iron Sheik
premature.
nearly got in shit for it.
Yeah.
And then but he went to WCW. Then he went to WCW after that. They turned him heel, which didn't work at all. And then
Big contract.
went to, and then he makes sporadic appearances in WWE. Basically, anytime it's the Great American Bash or something would come around. Like anytime it's like 4th of July or something, he would especially see him because of his USA
Him
gimmick
pulling
and
the
all that.
fucking WCW TV title out of the fucking bin is the fucking funniest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
funny.
he would also show up occasionally as in a Royal Rumble match, since he won the first ever Royal Rumble, sort of.
Yeah.
And then the Bushwhackers pretty much had like pretty much didn't really change all that much in
With the
WWF.
TNA.
They would occasionally challenge for the tag team titles here and there, but they were mainly an enhancement act. They were released shortly afterwards. They did some appearances in WCW. They were in that
TNA, I mean.
Heroes of Wrestling, which we have to review that.
Ah, no! Oh, no. Oh, no.
NWA Tag Team Champions.
And then they've made sporadic appearances in WWE, and they were inducted into the 2015 Hall of Fame. As for the Mount,
the inductees before Vader, which never should have happened. That made me completely disregard the Hall of Fame as a whole. Right. Thank you.
And then the Mountie went on. This gimmick didn't last for the Mountie much longer. He went on to be one of the Quebecers, and then once that tag team kind of started to end, he had like his first retirement match in the WWF facing his tag team partner, who is now PCO.
What? Yeah. Oh my God. So it is that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Holy shit. That's
And then he left, and then he had another retirement match, I believe, in WCW, and then he had another retirement match somewhere on the Indies, and he was opening up.
Fucking Carney.
Yeah. He may have a retirement matches before Terry Funk made him cool.
Honestly,
so.
like, this dude, like, trained Kevin Owens and all that.
Yeah.
And fucked over so many people for no reason whatsoever, other than just for fucking, like, self-gain. Like, his notoriety that he brings up on Dark Side of the Ring, you can just hear, like, how proud he is of himself and how, like, he worked young boys into basically, like, paying him money just to get fucking beat up and not get trained properly.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, fuck him then. Damn.
You know, but it's
PCO's
the time
cooler
of
then,
this,
I
right?
guess. PCO's cooler. Good for PCO.
PCO's way cooler.
Yeah.
Then
He's a nice guy. This guy sucks, apparently.
the last dog match was down the show. It aired between the main event and the semi-main event. I don't know, but it didn't air anywhere. We couldn't find this match anywhere. It was Tatanka. It was Tatanka versus the Berserker with Mr. Fuji, and apparently Tatanka won. There's really nothing
Why
worth
the
talking
fuck
about.
was Berserker with Mr. Fuji?
I don't know. It's a thing that happened. I'm not really gonna question it. So.
This was pre Yokozuna.
It was, yeah.
Yokozuna wasn't
so,
around then at this time.
No, he wasn't around. I don't think he was around until like later in the year.
So is it just Mr. Fuji just gets put with like local foreigner?
I guess so, yeah.
Something like that.
And every
yeah.
foreigner has a gimmick where if you hit them in the head,
Yeah, you were
that-
indestructible, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which they also give to Tatanka, you know, a Native
Yeah.
American foreigner of America.
Yeah. Tatanka really didn't do all that much in WWF. He
Poor lad deserves
yeah.
so much more.
He was really
turned him-
good. He was really good. Underrated
His
talent.
2006 run
Yeah.
was pretty good. It had a lot of potential.
Yeah,
and then
they just gave up on it.
and then the Berserker pretty much just was enhancement talent and really did nothing.
His gimmick was it was a tribute to not Abdullah the Butcher. What's his fucking name?
It definitely wasn't Abdullah.
No. The guy got stabbed in Puerto Rico?
Oh, Bruiser Brody.
Yes. His
Yeah.
whole gimmick. The Berserker would literally put like all of his gimmick into like being Bruiser Brody after he got
that actually
killed
makes a lot of sense now that you mention
by
it.
doing fucking splits
Yeah,
in the middle of the ring. That was like his thing.
And then Mr. Fuji went on to be a pretty notable manager. He managed, you know, the Yokozuna to a WWF Championship win and all that type of stuff. So
Yeah, the only Japanese air quotes that ever won a fucking world championship, and even though he's not Japanese, he's Samoan.
Yeah.
He's cool, man.
Going on to the actual show itself, we had the opening ceremony, which they went all in for. They had awesome pyro. They, you know, had like the national anthem for the UK play.
Yeah, what's it
They
going?
they went all in with the opening ceremony.
Yeah, no
So-
clue, right? You can hit fucking anything over those
No
fucking
way.
farty trumpets.
I'll be
No
honest.
fucking way, dude. The fucking quality of this was dog shit. Holy shit.
Oh wow! All right, we have
It
a
was
debate.
so bad.
That's
all you
fuck-
could hear is just. It's like the vuvuzelas from
I'll be honest. Put it this
South
way.
Africa.
Put it this way. It probably sucked to you. We'd never heard it, so it was like
Yeah.
that. We think that this is how it's supposed to sound.
Do you know
So-
how annoying it is to have every
You know.
year to have the fucking American national anthem smashed into your fucking head every WrestleMania?
That's
And
fair
this
enough.
is what we got.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, that's pretty shit.
Get-
Now that you mention
fucked.
it.
What?
Yeah, that's pretty shitty. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, man.
Fuck that. Fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
So-
I'm sorry. Who runs the company again? Move on.
Yeah. We had an
Yeah,
opening. We had an opening match for the show. It was Money Inc., which consisted of the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase and IRS Owen L. Schweister with Jimmy Hart
Good team.
Yeah.
Really
Very
good
good
team.
team. Yes.
Yeah.
versus the Legion of Doom with Paul Ellering and Wildcard.
Mister. Let's first off, we gotta talk. There's a couple things we have to mention here. First off, it's Money Inc. They come down and they're accompanied by the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, who is, you know, their whole group looks fucking great, right?
Yeah.
And then out comes the Legion of Doom with Paul Ellering. For some reason, he has a goddamn puppet. Can you please explain to me, Jack, what the fuck this puppet was supposed to be about? Why does Paul Ellering have a puppet?
Okay, so this guy, okay, the history of this guy is basically that he was the original manager for the Road Warriors before they were Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Were they Legion of Doom in WWF?
No, they were Legion of Doom in WWF.
Yeah, they
Road
weren't
Warriors
called the
W-
Road Warriors.
Yeah.
When they were the Road Warriors, this guy managed them. And he was the original manager. And like, I think they wanted to turn them heel, but Vince didn't want to like,
Right.
I'm trying to figure this out because like it's so weird. Like, they wanted to have them have their original manager, which their original gimmick was them being heels, but they're over and they're baby faces here, but they still
Yeah.
have a heel manager, and this is what like it all culminated to. The fucking idea of the puppet was like, I don't remember, but I remember.
It was basically. Are you telling me the fucking puppet was the face, while
Yeah.
Ellering himself was the heel? Is that what I'm getting at here?
Yeah, pretty much.
What the fuck?
It's so
That's how it
weird.
is, man.
Why?
No, I no, like for real, I don't know.
What the fuck,
like-
man?
I don't know. It was just something Vince wanted. I believe. I don't think it had.
Oh,
anything to do
so
with their
it was
original
like,
gimmick.
so it was basically just, oh, this is what we think of British people. So you know they play with puppet. What the fuck?
I don't think it was a British thing. No, I think it was just something to do with their gimmick. This is
Yeah.
what he put.
Well,
on
what the?
Paul.
Okay.
I've
whatever.
got no idea.
Anyway, he
but,
must
like-
have been. He must have been fucking high then too.
He
Yeah.
fucking. This must have been what fucking sent Hulk over the fucking edge. And
Yeah,
over
James,
the holy shit, this
James,
man
Ronnie.
is ballooned.
James, why don't you talk about it? Because you're the one that brought this story
Oh
to
yeah,
my attention.
I will. But first, I must. I do have some notes here prior to it. So during the 2 dark matches we did see, I did actually take notes. I said in the first one, which was Santana versus Papashango, I wrote, Mike Chioda looks so young. Like, it's fucking wild how young he looks.
Yeah.
Tito Santana was supremely underrated as a worker, is what I said, because if you actually let him work, he's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Who?
Tito Santana.
Oh.
That's
I do
just-
have the backstory actually for this puppet now. I do remember what happened.
Okay. So I'll let me read
Yeah.
these and then we can go
Yeah,
to it. For the second dark match, I actually wrote, "Man is duggan over in the UK. This is crazy. Overbooked
Yeah.
finish, but you know he's still over. He was really over. Like, it was crazy
true.
how over he was.
Yeah.
Like, there was fucking USA flags all over in the UK stadium. I'm like, what the fuck? Wow.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to do this like 4 years later, he would be booed out of the building.
Absolutely.
Like, that's how fucking much time freaking changed everything for wrestling. Like, that, seriously. It wasn't long that he would have been booed, but here he was fucking over.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, there you go. Okay, so what about the puppet now?
So, the idea is that Paul, what the fuck is his last name? Paul Ellering.
Paul Ellering, yes.
He basically took the Road Warriors into a scrapyard, and that's where they basically found the puppet. They found him in a scrapyard, but the segment that they recorded was so bad, according to Vince, that he just scrapped it. But
Okay.
they kept the gimmick of having the puppet, so the puppet is here with no explanation.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Just get rid of the puppet!
So no explanation. Look, dude, like, this is fucking like all over the place or whatever the fuck Vince wanted to do with Legion of Doom. Basically, the thing that was happening was like Legion of Doom were fucking over, dude. Like, they were
Absolutely.
so over. But like, Vince didn't know where to go from here.
Yeah.
Basically, all they need to do was just let the momentum grow, because oh my god, they were over in England. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. They
But,
were
like,
majorly over. It was fucking
This is
crazy,
like
dude.
where it kind of all falls apart.
Yeah, let's talk-
You ain't kidding. Let's get into that.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
quite curious to know, like, how. Okay, so I'm quite curious to know, like, with obviously what happens a lot on this pay-per-view with a lot of wrestlers, where the fuck are these guys getting their stashes from?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Oh, we talked about that with
Because
Virgil.
it's definitely not legal to
we
grab it in England.
talk-
It's definitely not.
No,
You
but
know.
they had it. Oh, we talk about it with Virgil. Trust
How
me.
they
We'll
get
get
it-
to that, man.
They have to either get it in the country or they have to know someone.
Exactly.
Which I'm
Yeah.
sure they probably in London. I'm sure they found someone, but I want to know how they fucking found someone.
But yeah, James, why do you talk
Because
about?
holy shit!
Yeah, I'll
Why
talk.
do you talk about?
I'll talk about the notes I have for this match with Money Inc. versus Road Warriors real quick. I also forgot to mention that they opened SummerSlam up with a cold open Ico Pro fucking advertisement.
That was your. That
Oh,
was your-
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that
that
was good.
happened. Then they had that whole crowd thing, and then the really bad trumpets apparently. And
Did they
no
show
national anthem.
the botch bump that Hawk did with the $1 Million Man? Or they take that out of the network?
Oh, they have
Uh,
it. They have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have it.
Oh, they have the botch where he does
Yeah.
the neck breaker and he
Yep.
like.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
let's let James go over this.
So this is what I
Okay.
have. This is what I wrote down for notes. Right. This is literally what I wrote down verbatim. Hawk is so clearly out of it. That's the first fucking bullet point here. Mouth of the South.
Fucking
Nobody.
balloon.
Dude, he's fucked up.
Yeah.
Mouth of the South. Nobody like him. Can't wait until he rips off hit songs for WCW themes. Because I saw him walk out and he's just like animated on the ringside. Hawk takes a boot while on the floor and does a fish flop to sell it. You could tell right at this moment he was not there in the head. Can't even do a hot tag properly. DiBiase and Animal are stalling just to try and get him to the right corner to tag. Hawk also no sells damage that he took, and it wasn't a Road Warrior sell. It wasn't a Road Warrior no sell. It was a I'm so fucked up I don't know where I am no sell, a la Jeff Hardy Victory Road 2011. Hawk is getting his bell run, says quoted by Heenan. He hit the nail on that one. How did he even ride the motorcycle is what I wrote after that.
You could tell that he was wobbling on that thing.
That was my comment, actually.
And then I said, 3-star match, despite Hawk being fucked up, mainly helped by the crowd. Holy shit, Animal looks pissed.
Okay, so a few things to note here.
Yeah, please. Because those are my notes. That's what I took.
On a positive note, Money Inc., both lads, did really fucking good work here.
Yeah.
Like, there's a spot
kidding.
where Hawk jumps off the top rope and goes to give IRS a fucking clothesline. IRS does this, like, neck snap, like, out of the way, last second dodge.
Yeah, it was good.
It looked really good. Like, really good. It's some of the, like, best stuff I've seen from IRS.
Yeah.
Money Inc. seemed to really have their game together, so I don't know why they didn't keep them together longer.
Who ran the company again?
Well, like, okay, so this is at a time when, like, $1 Million Man was kind of slowing down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't keep them together long enough.
Yeah.
Because, $1 Million Man
But they
went
definitely
out
won the
doing-
tag team titles together at some point.
They did.
a couple times.
On a
couple
house
times,
show.
yeah.
On a house show after this.
Because this is what happens with this conversation. Anything can happen on a house show.
Yeah.
That was, like, kind of the thing.
I'm pretty sure they weren't kept together longer because
Yeah.
DiBiase went out through his back injury like shortly.
I think
after
that's what
this.
happened. Yeah, DiBiase just kind of lost it, like, because
Yeah.
of his back and like he was struggling. Second thing to mention, it's clearly made, or this match is clearly developed to have Hawk in the ring for the majority of the match. Why the fuck would you have this man work the majority of the match looking the way he does?
Bro, he's
Well,
so
What the
fucked up,
fuck?
dude.
But to be fair,
Why'd you let this happen?
to be fair though, would you rather have that happen or have Hawk have to do the hot tag spot? Cause
No, I'd rather him do the hot tap because it didn't last that long.
Bro, I know. Here's why Owen says that. It's fucking a struggle to get him to do this fucking thing. Like, during the match, they're hitting moves on him, and they hit a move on him, and for some reason, instead of going to the corner where the momentum would send him to the other thing, I think it was like some sort of like elbow strike or whatever, and then, right? Instead of doing it the opposite way to do it, he goes to the fucking opposite end of the ring, away from Animal.
He has no idea where he is.
And doesn't even know where the fuck he is.
He has no fucking clue where he is.
It was to the point where they were like literally, like it was to the point where they were doing a fucking like strike down on the ground, and they finally got him down on his back. And he was trying to get up again. And IRS pushes him down, and you can literally mouth him, "Stay the fuck down!" Like, you can see IRS saying, "Stop it! Stay down, you fucking schmutz!" And then he fucking stands up anyway and does a fucking do-si-do fucking whoa, ski-whoa fucking tag to Animal. It was the worst shit I've ever seen.
And then, but like, they had like a tag team sequence that required him to work anyway. So Hulk goes up to the fucking corner and he's on the wrong side waiting for fucking Animal, and Iris is like, "No, dude, I'm gonna drop kick fucking Animal and tell him to just scoop Simon."
Because he almost fucked up the spot. Yeah, and
he did fuck up the spot. They just didn't do it.
Yeah, and they didn't do the
knew,
Doomsday
because as
device.
professionals, they knew better.
Yeah, so they did it with a power slam. Animal looked fucking majorly pissed.
Yeah.
No, well, like, Animal looked fucking pissed, and fucking Hawk is like, "Wait, fucking hell! Oh, I don't know where the fuck I am, bro."
But
like, he had no clue.
Yeah,
he was all over the place.
Absolutely. To give my 2 cents on the match, pretty good match, also considering with Hawk. Good tag team psychology here with the heels getting the heat. You know, Legion of Doom, I mean, were over in this match. They were really over. The hot tag ruled. I give it like 3.25 stars, all things considering, because it was a pretty good opener. The crowd really made this opener too, so a pretty good match.
Yeah, that was pretty much the one thing that saved it from being a complete fucking dumpster fire. Honest to God.
But
Yeah.
if you want some trivia here, then.
Yeah, please. What
Yeah, sure.
other? Before you even go over the history of where they are now, too, if you want to do that, what other?
No, I
spots
want to
did
know
we
what the
miss?
fuck happened after this. Straight after this, with Hawk.
Oh,
So,
okay, I got that. Unless you want to get that on.
So other spots in the match were, obviously the drop kick spot. I think we covered all the spots in the match pretty much for the
That
most
were
part.
fun, pretty much, because it was just basically Hawk ballooned off his ass the whole match.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to know what happened after? You're saying, Jack? Okay, I'll tell you exactly what happened. So, the man known as Hawk would then basically get fired not too long after this. He would then go to Japan, use the Road Warriors.
Oh no, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't get fired at all. That's incorrect.
Really?
So, Hawk fucking flipped his shit and fucking bailed straight after the show with the Berserker. Berserker went with him, and then while he's on contract, he would go straight to New Japan, fucking tag team with fucking Hellraiser.
Right, the Power Warrior, right?
Yeah. And who's a Japanese bloke? What's his name?
That's his name. I thought.
Yeah.
Right. Hold on. Let me check. Power Warrior. Okay. Kensuke Sasaki is his name.
Yeah. So Kensuke Sasaki, and he would also team up with Crush.
Or no,
in
it's
New Japan.
Kensuke Sasaki. Sorry.
Yeah. So he'd like tag team with those two as the Hellraisers against Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Wait.
What the hell is going on, bro?
Wait. Well, hold on. So against Hogan and it had to have been Inoki then in the tag match, right? Or was it a handicap?
No, I think Hogan might have been.
Because I remember Hogan and Inoki were a tag team back then.
Yeah, so like this basically like led to
him getting fired, pretty much.
Yeah, it led to him obviously like them terminating his contract and then Animal leaving and going to WCW.
Yeah, they did.
And then them going because they were having a relationship with New Japan.
So they ended up reuniting anyway. Yeah, I remember that.
Which led to New Japan and WCW's most famous pay-per-view.
Oh no.
Being
Collision in Korea.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Holy shit.
Wait,
what a disaster.
Oh,
Holy
man,
shit.
I can't. Now I kind of want to review that. Now that you mentioned that, just for the fucking novelty that
But
happened. But
like
wait,
all this led to this.
Real
what the
quick
fuck?
Real quick then. Does that mean all three of the Road Warriors, including Power Warrior, were in a trios match at that fucking show?
No, I think it was just
okay, because I know at one point all three of them did do a tag match.
Yeah.
I do remember that happening, which was actually kind of fucking cool.
When was it? Was probably in New Japan.
It had to have
that they
been.
did that.
Yeah.
But they also did this fucking really weird thing. Like, okay, this is like years off as well. Like when Hawk still isn't okay. But they do this fucking stupid angle where like Hawk is trying to fucking kill himself. In the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
What the
fuck?
98
rather, 98, yeah.
Dad, the Vince booked this!
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you let this happen?
And then it turns out Draws fucking was the one that was forcing him to do that, yeah.
Big man Draws.
Yeah.
Would you piss on Draws?
And then they did, they brought him, and then they did LOD 2000, that was a failure too, and then they did, and then,
yeah.
They were supposed to reunite again in 2004, but then Hawk died. Was it Animal? Yeah, it was Hawk that died.
Yeah, they were supposed to have another run, and then it never came to pass because Hawk ended up passing away. And then they still did it anyway a year after the fact.
With Heidenreich.
With Heidenreich.
Yeah.
And yeah, the less said about that one.
And then Animal continued to tour. Animal continued to tour the Indies for a bit. I think he made one last appearance on WWE TV in 2012. 10 years ago.
Shitting on fucking
Heath Slater.
No, not just Heath Slater. Shitting on what the fuck, Victor and
Connor and Victor, yeah.
Yeah.
The Ascension, yep.
Yeah, the Ascension.
And
thanks, JBL, you prick. Anyway,
and then he would just go on to tour. He did some work with Sportskeeda Wrestling. He was with Chris Featherstone reviewing Raw every week, crapping on the product.
I agree. Yeah.
And then 2 days later, he was on a podcast with Chris Featherstone, talked about how he was going to go have a nice anniversary with his wife, and then 2 days later, he had a heart attack and passed away, which is really a shame.
Can we talk about who should have been in the Legion of Doom in 2005? Luther Reigns. Should have been.
Big man Luther Reigns would have definitely fit that.
Yeah, he would have fit that really well. Man, coming in there talking about, give me some of them peas! Give me some of them mashed potatoes!
Give me some of them peas! But yeah, I know that's a really big tangent, but looking at what the fuck happens after this, it's a complete tirade of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
This is Jeff Hardy, if he doesn't sort his shit out.
You mean right now?
So,
wait, does that mean Jeff Hardy is gonna go out of jail?
He's gonna go to New Japan.
I never got any peas. I never got any mashed potatoes. I missed my lattice spots.
I know it's a bit of a tangent, but this really signifies basically the end of the golden era of the Legion of Doom. This is it. At their highest point. Look how over these dudes are in front of these English fans. Yeah. Dude, they are so I don't like using the word over. The term over gets so overused. But when a crowd recognizes you to the point where they are in the palm of your hand from the very get-go, you are over, dude. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, really.
You have that crowd, no matter what.
True. That is very true.
And it went so wrong.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame.
It really is.
And then go...
Do we want to talk about where Money Inc. is now? Because I think we covered the Road Warriors pretty well.
So, Money Inc., obviously, we mentioned they wouldn't really be together much longer. They would win the tag titles, I think, one more time, which I'll get into that later in the show.
Yeah.
And then DiBiase ended up retiring in the win competition. And he would form the DiBiase Millionaire Group with the Ringmaster, iOS, Kama Mustafa, and King Kong Bundy.
Oh my god.
And then he left for WCW, was a part of the NWO, and then he left that group after a while when that faded out. And they just
managed. You forget he also managed the Steiner Brothers in a feud with Nash and Hall.
Yeah, that's true.
That happened there, and then
they started feuding with Razor Ramon, just him on his own.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he basically just made sporadic appearances in WWE. Occasionally, once his son was brought into the business, and then he got signed. He
the ref tried to pull the fuck on me, Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yeah, and then he went into the Hall of Fame in 2009. 2009, I believe. No, 2010. He went into the Hall of Fame.
They all blend
and
together. We apologize.
Yeah, and then I remember '09 was when he mentioned he didn't go into the Hall of Fame, and then I think he went.
And then let's just skip right to the brass tacks. He was in NXT, managing Cameron Grimes, and possibly trying to manage Eli Drake before NXT went into Nickelodeon territory.
Yep.
Right around that same time, it gets outed by the IRS For fraud.
Wait, I remember we talked about how that should be done as a storyline, too.
Oh my
That's
god,
incredible.
man. Yeah, and by the way, the fucked up part is it's not even Ted or either Ted that did it. It was fucking Brett DiBiase. It was the fucking worst member.
What
it was
an
the
idiot.
most unknown member of the DiBiase family.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And then, as for IRS, he would basically go on to be, I believe he went to WCW for a little bit too. At the end.
Yeah, I don't
it
remember
was
what was his name.
He was Mike Rotunda at first, and he was I think he might have been he was VK Wall Street.
Oh,
And
big
then he
bang
was
of Vince
Michael Wall,
Russo.
and then they had to change it to get away from copyright claims from WWE. So then he was Michael Wall Street.
Yeah.
But they got away with calling frickin' Virgil Vincent. So
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then, he basically came back to the WWE, would make sporadic appearance. He was an road agent backstage until like 2020 when he was released because of the COVID cuts. And then he was furloughed. I think they brought him back for a bit, and then he was released again. So
You
basically,
skipped a big load of like stuff, by the way, that doesn't get talked about. Like after WCW, in 2000, he goes to New Japan,
that's right, he does, doesn't he?
and he joined he joined NWO Japan.
Yep.
That's right.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
he was
bro.
tag teaming. He was in the fucking G1 Climax.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like,
Holy shit.
fucking what?
Yeah.
And like he teamed with Scott Norton, and like they got a number one contenders match for the WCW World Tag Team Championship in New Japan.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then like fucking Chono left NWO Japan, formed his own group called Team 2000, which fucking IRS, who was still called Wall Street, also joined that with fucking NWO Sting.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on, man?
Yeah.
And then he went to
by the
All
way,
Japan.
NWO Sting was like majorly over in Japan.
Dude, that dude ruled.
Yeah.
And then he fucking joined All Japan and started tagging with fucking Dr. Death.
Yeah, it's mad.
What the fuck is going on?
This is crazy.
This man's career is all over the place in 2003.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, bro.
What
We gotta
the
watch
hell?
this
It's like,
time
yeah, man, I'm gonna
period.
go my big New Japan run and my big All Japan run. I'm gonna sort this shit out, actually.
Bro.
I'm like,
He,
you know what, man? Good for you.
that's
Yeah.
pretty
Seriously.
cool, bro. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I ended my career in Japan, man.
That's awesome. He fucking,
Yeah.
He had to run up his life.
That
in some
shit
way.
ruled.
Cool.
So then continuing with the show, Mean Gene Okerlund interviewed Ric Flair. They were doing this storyline throughout this show where they were having Randy Savage defend the WWF Championship against Ultimate Warrior, and the whole thing is we didn't know whose corner Mr. Perfect was going to be in. And this interview was to basically try to have us find out what that case was going to be. Ric Flair was talking about how he thought he was bullshit, that he wasn't in the title match since he had a rematch for the championship from when he lost it to Savage at WrestleMania 8. But he said that he was going to let this match play out. And Mean Gene Okerlund then asked, well, whose corner is Mr. Perfect going to be in? And Ric Flair didn't really answer the question. And then he answered at the end, he's going to be in the corner of the winner. So I kind of liked it. It was a nice little mystery angle here. So,
Yeah,
Go
like
ahead.
the story. It's interesting, but it's also kind of bullshit. Like, okay, I'm not one to fucking shit all over Ric Flair's like promo here at this time. Like him and
Perfect. Were great.
Mean Gene really work together.
Mean Gene
Yeah.
was. Mean Gene.
This is gold. This is only like a little bit of what you usually see, but this is really good shit.
yeah.
But like the whole thing of like Savage and fucking
Ultimate Warrior.
Warrior, like they're both faces.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's going on? It's kind of hard to follow.
I did kind of. I
as
like
a kid.
I understand. I understand your perspective, but I did like that they added that extra drama into the match because.
I thought I was gonna hate it at first until I actually saw the match, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it worked.
Okay, all right.
And we'll say this right now too. Nobody did interviews better than Mean Gene. Like Mean Gene was the best at interviews.
He knew how to get the best out of people.
The only person that's ever touched him that even came close was David Marquez, and I'm not even saying that to sound like he should be having so much more. David Marquez.
Mean Gene made somehow, I don't know how he did it. He made people look like stars without putting himself over.
Yeah.
Like, he put all the attention on everyone, and he made that on purpose.
Right. Absolutely.
Because he's definitely buried people he doesn't like in promos before.
Yeah.
Like, in smart way, it's hilarious when you see it happen.
Yeah,
but
my god, WCW is riddled with those.
So fucking funny.
It's fucking great. Like, he buried the shit out of Kevin Sullivan by the end of this run.
But, like, Mean Gene working with Flair, like, he could tell when Flair was trying to be subtle, and he didn't force him just to talk all the time. He knew the power of silence, and he knew the power of mystery that was going on.
Right.
And that is something you wouldn't see today.
No Absolutely.
People's attention spans just aren't there.
Yeah.
If this promo happened now, people would be on Twitter saying it's fucking dog shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Honestly.
You're not wrong.
I would just say the next promo was dog shit.
Jade, what are you... Yeah. Talk about Shawn Moody's interview with Virgil. I'm going to let you talk about it.
Actually, we'll talk about that in a second, but hold on. I do want to at least, since we brought them up for the first time, we'll talk about where they are now, since we're, just so that way we get them out of the way and over with, right? Flair ended up having went back to WCW, had a hell of a run, actually became a 14-time world champion while there. Then, I actually, was it 16-time, or was that not until later?
That was 16, because he never won a world
so he
championship.
did, yeah, you're right. Okay, so he became a, quote, 16-time world champion, even though it's actually...
Well, the WCW title, changed hands a lot in 2000.
Right.
It was kind of dumb.
Right. Yeah. In reality, it was actually 21 world title reigns.
Yeah, no one's tell John Cena.
So,
and then he went on in WWE to have a hell of a run. He did Evolution. He did the retirement match at going up the retirement run where
Barry Carlito.
Oh, come on now, man. Look, his feud with Carlito. Okay.
It was good.
Ric Flair's career as IC champion in 2005 was kind of really good, but he was going through a divorce at the time.
Yeah, he was.
And he just wasn't into whatever the fuck he was doing. He just didn't want to be there.
No.
And then pretty much, after the WWE run ended in a high, of course that couldn't be it for Ric Flair. He had to go to TNA and basically kind of ruin his legacy. And was put on
Stink Up 2K.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Stink Up 2K when he came back. Then he would go on to try and basically do more appearances outside of the WWE. And it all culminated with the Plane Ride from Hell documentary by Dark Side of the Ring, basically outing him to be a complete and utter piece of shit, to the point where now he's trying to hold on to whatever glory he has left, which isn't much to begin with, and is now having his apparently last match, quote unquote, at a newly bought Conrad Thompson's Jim Crockett Promotions event.
Yeah. See, I can't believe that you guys forgot the best angle that Flair ever did after he stopped wrestling.
Go ahead.
The best thing that happened was he had a birthday on Raw, and Batista beat the fuck out of him.
Oh, yeah!
He was bleeding I think he was bleeding.
Do I have your attention now?
I don't think he was bleeding, but I'd like to think that he gigged.
He had
Like,
to. He had to.
come on, man.
That was awesome.
Batista fucking beating the shit out of Flair on his birthday? That's holy shit.
Especially
awesome.
now,
That is
especially
incredible.
nowadays, he deserved it.
And then, as for me, Gene Okerlund, he would pretty much continue to be an interviewer. I believe he left the company in '94, right? Because he went to WCW.
Went to
in 94.
WCW.
They offered him a lot of money.
And he made even more with his scam hotline, and I'm convinced it was always a scam.
Well,
He made money
got,
off that shit.
He got a lot of shares from that. He got like a lot of royalties
Yeah,
for
dude.
a lot of stuff. Holy shit.
He got a lot. He was crazy.
Fuck me.
Dude.
This man worked everyone.
Yeah.
He was so good,
And then-
man. He knew what to do.
He was in WCW until like its dying days.
Very
right?
end of the days, and then he came back to the WWF. He made sporadic appearances all throughout. He made the Hall of Fame in 2004, I think, which is another fucking great speech that you should definitely watch. Really
I know.
good stuff.
I gotta watch these Hall of Fames.
And then he would just go on to do WrestleCons. I remember there was a really great interview that he did with Jason Solomon. If you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. It's really informative shit. And he ended up passing away, living a pretty damn good life, I would say. So,
Ironically
shout
enough,
out Mean Gene up in the sky.
Ironically enough, too, I believe too I believe it was his I'm pretty sure he showed up before this. I believe it was his pass that brought Hogan back to WWE.
I believe
too.
so, yeah. I believe it was, yeah. He
2005?
actually, yes. Yeah, he
But I'm
ended
pretty sure.
That does make sense.
I'm pretty sure that was Hogan's first appearance in WWE. After that,
After 03, I think, yeah, because he had like a lot of issues with Vince and the way he was treating him. or
And
whatever
then
the fuck.
Stank Up SummerSlam with Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels.
Shawn. So now, James, talk about Sean Moody's interview with Virgil. I want you to talk about it.
What about Mr. Perfect? I mean, we can go over that real quick.
Well,
he was mentioned. He was mentioned.
Okay, I was gonna say technically he'd make it appear.
I'll just mention it quick. Well, he went and had a pretty good run in the WWF for the remainder of it, and then he ended up going to WCW where he became a U.S. champion and main evented Nitro way too fucking much. Ended up having a weird feud by 2000 with the perfect one. Was it Sean O'Hare that he feuded with, or was
It wasn't Shawn. It was Shawn Stasiak.
Stasiak? That's right. The perfect. Yeah.
Actually,
The fucking state of him.
Actually,
Holy
before-
shit.
Actually, before this too, what I feel like the biggest thing we got to talk about before he even left for WCW, he actually ended up turning babyface because Royal left again, and they were going to do a tag match with the Ultimate Maniac versus Mr. Perfect and it was Ric Flair and Razor Ramon, and Mr. Perfect was going to be in the corner, but then when Royal left again, they turned Mr. Perfect babyface, and I think he teamed up with Savage to face
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
pretty sure.
It was a fucking mess.
yeah.
For shoot reasons, that Perfect left. He was getting a lot of money from some kind of health benefit.
Yeah, it was
situation.
London something. I forget what it is.
Yes.
Forget
And
what it
then,
is off the top of my head, but yeah, it was basically he was getting benefits for
He was getting more money through that from actually wrestling.
yeah,
Which-
and then he decided
what
to
the
wrestle anyway.
Yeah.
He came back to the WWE in 2002.
Holy shit, he looked good.
He looked
Yeah.
good there, and then he started looking worse as time went on. Led to the plane ride from hell incident, which actually started with Mr. Perfect and Lesnar fucking wrestling on top of a fucking shit
That's hilarious.
miles in the sky. Then went to TNA until he passed away.
Yeah. That's a
Poor
shame.
lad.
So there you go.
Now talk about Sean Moody's interview with Virgil.
Oh boy. Okay, so this guy fucking has the worst boxing things I've ever seen out of anybody ever. I mean, who was the guy that led British Bulldog out for his main event? Because
Oh my God,
he had
okay.
to have seen this.
Yeah, I forget who you're talking about.
I forget off the top of my head. I could probably find it later in the notes that I actually have here. I could probably find it real quick. Okay, so
talk about it while I'm looking.
Yeah. Oh, you're looking for it? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Virgil's like the first thing you notice, and I'm not even trying to be an asshole, but you could clearly see the dude's high because there's snot coming out of his fucking nose.
Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, he's probably like looking at this fucking guy. What the fuck are you doing? He cuts the most generic promo ever, but it sounds so fucking hype because he's on drugs. And then fucking gets out of there, and he's like doing fucking stupid jabs, like trying to make like, you know, fucking Shawn Mooney flinch or whatever. He comes out for his match against fucking
Nails.
He's doing the stupidest jog to the ring I've ever seen, man. Like, you could tell it was just like whatever. Basically, he didn't care.
As for the match with Nails and well, I guess we'll talk about what Shawn Mooney is, since we're on the topic right now.
Yeah, I'm curious on this.
So Shawn Mooney had a decent run in WWF. I actually forgot to look up where he was, so I'm pretty sure he left WWF shortly after this. He really didn't do all that much. I'm pretty sure he had a little stint in WCW.
For Todd Pettengill and Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Like, come on. He was really good, man. He's actually underrated.
He had a small stint in WCW, and then he left WCW. And then the recent thing that he's done is he was in NWA in 2020. He was like brought in as an interviewer, but then when the pandemic hit, he hasn't been seen since. I don't know what he's doing nowadays. I know he has a podcast nowadays, because every wrestler has a podcast nowadays. Because I remember he was promoting his podcast like a little bit.
Yeah, let's oversaturate. Let's completely oversaturate that market more than I had.
And then he pretty much is just chilling. He's just chilling at home and doing his podcast. So good on him. Going over the match with Nails and Virgil, to kind of give you guys a backstory. This is when Nails was fairly new to the. I'm assuming wrestling in general. There's no way this guy wasn't new with how he wrestled this match. And he was meant to be an escaped convict that was going after Big Boss Man. I don't think it was set in storyline. I don't know if they ever got this though, because Nails' wrestling career was so short. I'm pretty sure it was going to come out later that it was the Big Boss Man that actually arrested him or something.
Well, his WWF run was short.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure it was so short I don't think they ever actually did a program.
No, probably not. I think they did, and then they had to end it premature because he, the incident between him and Vince happened around the same time. Yeah. I think it was right after this event. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So let's talk about so pretty much Virgil was sticking up for the Big Boss Man, and he was pretty much the chosen jobber that was going to go up against Nails for him to squash. He was meant to make Nails look good, and oh boy, did that not happen.
Yeah, this is what I wrote just to talk about how great he made Nails look. One move of not so doom match is what I called it. Drop kick versus chokehold.
That's pretty much the match. I don't think I can say anything else about it.
There's no other moves. That's the whole match, and it lasted how many minutes? I think it lasted 5 minutes, and it was 5 minutes too goddamn long.
I got it on Wikipedia. I got it on Wikipedia actually. Believe it or not, the match was 3 minutes. According to Wikipedia,
it felt
the match was
way longer. Oh my god, why did you put this on the show? I would have taken the Bushwhacker 6-man tag over this, dude. It was bad. It was fucking shit.
After this match, he chokes Virgil afterwards with what was it called? He had a
Boss Man's nightstick. Yeah, he stole Boss Man's nightstick, basically. Yeah.
I don't even think he really choked him with it. It looked so bad the way he choked.
There was one point
he kept going to it.
Yeah, all the time. That's all he did was a fucking choke. There was at one point though where he actually does another move that I forgot to mention. He does do a sleeper, which is just another form of a choke, but he does a sleeper. And then Vince fucking like an idiot, goes, he's doing a blatant choke, ref, and then fucking Bobby Heenan literally just fucking shuts Vince McMahon up. It's like, I could literally see his Adam's apple. It's fine. It's a fucking sleeper. You know what a sleeper is, Vince? Like, what are you talking about, Vince? It's a fucking sleeper, clearly.
I wonder if that was a shoot by Heenan right there.
Oh, there was no doubt. It had to have been. It had to have been. Like,
oh,
dude,
This was so
fucking terrible, dude.
You know, if I was Virgil and I found out I was wrestling this dude, I probably would have done drugs too.
I wrote negative star. What a shitty match.
It was so bad.
It was fucked up, man. That was the worst match of the card, but it was entertainingly bad, at least.
At least the crowd. At least the crowd was somewhat into it. That made the match a little bit, but it was still.
Yeah, again, the crowd is a saving grace of this show for sure. Like, no doubt, especially for shit like this.
So yeah, after this, pretty much, we found out like a few months later, Nails confronted Vince about a SummerSlam play. I believe he got like $1 million or something like that. He wanted more money for this match right here.
Really? Oh, really? You thought you deserved more, huh?
And then, so him and Vince got into like a shouting match in the office. I believe Bret Hart says he overheard this, and apparently he knocked Vince out of his chair, and he pretty much was fired from this incident. It's said that Vince said some type of sexual misconduct or something to him, which no one nowadays would happen. That could be true.
Oh shit!
Mate, look at this dude's fucking face. Look, some fucking mush on you, mate.
Go ahead, show. Just share your screen. We gotta all see this now.
No,
Please.
I'm just saying, like, look at the fucking state of this dude.
Yeah.
Like, look at any fucking close-up of him. Big fucking centre part him with no fucking hair. It's like little fucking scribbles of fucking hair. Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
And
And,
then,
like, just... What?
Yeah.
And then, he pretty
Okay.
much... He did some indie stuff for a while after he was fired from WWE. I don't know if I mentioned he got... obviously
I think he
got fired
passed
from that
away, and who cares?
He's still alive, I think. I looked up.
Still alive. Wow.
Yeah, he's still living.
Did he ever apologize, or is he still a bitter? Does he have a podcast about how bitter he is?
I haven't heard anything about him having a podcast, so I don't know.
If he does, you'll know on the next retro. How about that? There you go.
And then as for Virgil, you know, he pretty much is just enhancement talent for the
Virgil. Okay, I'll tell you, Virgil went to WCW, joined the NWO. He basically was just their lackey. He ran NWOB team. After NWOB team ended, he then tried to finagle for money everywhere he could, from subways to parking lots at random events. Anywhere he could to get some form of money, he would be there. To the point where Scott Hall ribbed him for it and literally posted a video about it on YouTube. That's pretty much sums up the career of Virgil.
Actually, he missed his AEW. Remember his?
Okay. In fairness, Soul Train Jones was a pretty good cameo. I'll give you that, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
In AEW, yeah.
Yeah.
But so Kuzon, Jack, whatever. Anything? I know you haven't been able to talk about this match really. Anything new you want to add? Talking about Nails versus Virgil.
I mean, who's the boss now, boss man? kind of like incentive is going up to like your fucking boss and then saying he raped me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I understand like with the situation now, like it looks a lot different, but like, look at this fucking situation, dude.
Look at Nails.
Look at the fucking state of this situation. Look at the state of you, Nails.
You know what? I can actually share my screen. Let's just look up a picture of Nails right now and put it on the screen, right? Shall we?
Let me see this.
Nails, WWF.
Nails in WCW as well.
Probably. I'd imagine that. That's probably true. Okay, here we go. We got a nice picture of oh my god, he has a Facebook. Oh my god, he has a Facebook.
Who doesn't have a Facebook nowadays?
Yes, but Nails? Nails has a Facebook? What the fuck? Alright, hold on. I got it zoomed in. Here we go. Sharing screen. Hopefully soon. Here we go. Going live now. Look at this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Bad.
This is the guy that apparently got you know. Yeah. There you
Stop
go.
showing this. Stop showing this. I don't know how to get out of this.
I'm gonna get fucking.
No, I'm like, I don't know how do I get out of this? Like,
Yeah. You just here. I'll do it for you. There you go. Done.
All right. Next thing, Lord Alfred Hayes was doing an investigation over the Mr. Perfect's whereabouts. He was outside of
This
Macho
was
Man.
hilarious.
This was
He was
fucking
out-
funny.
He was outside of Macho Man Randy Savage's locker room, and he was saying he was going to try to find out what's going on. And I think he found out that the locker room was locked, and Macho Man Randy Savage wasn't letting anybody in. So this was funny. This was good. This was good stuff.
Do you want me to read you my real-time notes as this segment aired for me? This is what I wrote. Promo was some British guy trying to get to the bottom of who's in Macho Man's dressing room. If anybody, I didn't recognize him at first. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, because he looked familiar, but I didn't know who. I thought he was like some celebrity in Britain, and I'm like, who is he? I'm trying to figure it out. And like, I swear I know this guy. I swear I've seen his face, and then they fucking mention his name on commentary. Oh, it's fucking Alfred Hayes.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You I forgot to do research on him. Do you know where he is nowadays?
I wouldn't, honestly. Jack, do you know?
What, Lord Alfred Hayes?
Yeah, where
It's probably fucking 6 feet under.
wow,
To be fair. Like, we can look it up. Like, Lord Alfred Hayes.
I'll look it up real quick. Hold on.
Yeah. Lord Alfred Hayes. There we go.
He is. You're right. You're right. He is. He
He's
died in
fucking dead
2005.
as shit, dude. He died in 2005.
He continued working. He can continue working for WWF until 1995. He actually did French commentary for a little bit. Actually,
His final appearance for any wrestling organization was in the American Wrestling Federation in 1996.
Yeah.
So
After leaving the WWF, Hayes would later appear on as a full-time heel commentator alongside Mick Crash. Don't know who that is. Calling the action in 1996 after a short-lived American Wrestling Federation.
He ended up, he retired from wrestling in 95. Actually, it says McMahon and the rest of the office were very upset at the news, as Hayes was someone they didn't want to lose. Around this time, he was involved in a serious car accident. As a result of the incidents, he suffered...
yeah, he got his leg amputated.
Yeah, he got his legs...
Stinky. Okay.
He later suffered...
Fuck.
He was in the wheelchair for the remainder of his life. He spent the last few years in a retirement home. And he only left the house to make wrestling convention appearances. He later suffered a series of strokes and died on July 21st, 2005 at his home in Texas. He was 76 years old, and on the episode of Raw, after his death, WWE paid tribute to him with a 10-belt salute and a video memorial. And on November
This is like the beginning of 2005.
And on November 15th, 2010, on the old school edition of Raw, his voiceover was part of his of the broadcast. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as part of the Legacy win in 2018.
That's cool.
That's pretty
That's cool.
Cool.
So yeah, then continuing.
We have a promo
Me,
from
Gina-
Sherry Martel with me, Gene
Fucking
Okerlund.
whopper ass on this lady. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Them things be thinging, respectfully.
Oh yes,
I don't know why.
Respectfully.
I have always had a thing for Sensational Sherry. Even in her later days, like I always had a thing for her.
Fair enough, man.
So,
I don't blame you. I think I know why.
Yeah.
Those things
So-
be tangin'.
So this was at the time they were doing a storyline where Shawn Michaels and Rick the Model Martel were trying to compete over the affections of Sensational Sherry. And this is basically the same storyline they're doing with Mr. Perfect, that they just did it with Sensational Sherry also, about whose corner she was going to be in and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Except, the reasonings were different and all that type of stuff.
Exactly.
She did end up, and then we heard Shawn Michaels call her, and she was going to go out ringside with Shawn Michaels. Now, James, I have to pee really bad, so why don't you talk about this match while I go take care of that?
Yes, indeed.
So
hey,
it was
listen,
Rick,
you gotta go, man.
so it's Rick the Model Martel versus Shawn Michaels with Sensational Sherry ringside. So James, take over for a bit. I'll be back in like a minute.
Okay, so so just for complete funny things here, this is what I wrote, Jack. Match 3 is Shawn Michaels versus Rick Martel. Sherry comes out with Shawn Michaels wearing a crazy outfit. What a badonk is what I wrote.
He looks like a chandelier.
Yeah? Yeah, that's fair. I could see it. Why did Rick Martel come out in a tennis outfit?
That was like his gimmick. Like, so beforehand, he would have like this perfume that he would spray.
Right.
And he would always like show vignettes of him like basically being like a very attractive man. This is during the time of like old school wrestling. Like this is a very old school wrestling vignette that like kind of lasted over the few years.
Okay.
This should have probably been gone by early 90s.
I think they he did this gimmick right after splitting from a tag team, right? Like what
this this
partner?
works. Oh, I don't remember. But this was like around like when 85 when he had long hair.
Yeah, and they literally like he split from his tag team partner along right around the time Shawn split from Jannetty. And then it was like right around the same time.
No, I think Michaels actually separated a little bit later, quite a bit later.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it 89? Or was it 89 then? When
maybe.
He separated? It
might have been just the 90s. It might have been just the 90s that Michaels and Moody separated. The storyline to this was like Michaels had actually Michaels had just fucking walked down to the ring during a match between Bret Hart and fucking finger bang over here. What's his name?
Finger bang. Fucking.
What's his fucking name now?
Was it Marty? No.
No.
Oh no, then.
The guy he's facing in this match.
Oh, Rick Martel.
Yeah, Rick Martel. So like the story going into this is like Rick Martel had like Brett in a move, and right in front of the fucking ref, Shawn beats the fuck out of Brett while he's in this fucking Boston Crab. So it ends up getting Brett a victory through like a DQ.
Right.
And then during one of Shawn's matches with Sensational Sherry, Rick Martel goes down to the ring and starts eyeballing Sensational Sherry, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
And then she smiles.
And she ends up getting horny over him.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
So this is basically like that.
This is also, I don't know if you've said this or not. When Shawn Michaels had just broken out into a singles run after leaving his tag team.
Yeah,
partner,
Marty Jannetty, yeah.
I got there.
They both
did. And so this was like right when they were breaking out into the singles runs. And yeah, they in this match, and we found out. I think it was in this interview that they were supposed to not
hit each other in the face. Yeah, which they did for a while, and they actually had a pretty fucking great wrestling match as it was going along.
It's a good gimmick.
It was a really good gimmick.
A really good gimmick.
And then
something so simple.
Right. And then they just started hitting each other in the face because they got fucking sick.
Well, it's like Cody Rhodes did this for a while, if you remember.
I do remember, he did. Yeah.
And it fucking garnered mega heat.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was really good. And they both got booed for it, too, here.
That's what I mean. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, so it
like,
was
it's
really
such
well
a
done.
simple thing. Don't hit my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm too beautiful.
Yeah.
You have
love it.
no right to touch my face. Don't hit my face.
And then, but in this case, Sherry Martel liked both of them, so she didn't want or Sensational Sherry, anyways.
Yeah.
So she didn't want anyone ruining their good looks for her by hitting each other in the face. But this actually added to the match because it made the match really good storytelling. They both had to be innovative and have to resort to their basic wrestling skills. There was a few times Shawn Michaels hit him in the face, like he did a drop kick to the face, and I love that Vince called that out, and Mean Gene Okerlund says, "No, I think you just can't be directly hit in the face," which I thought was funny.
I'm missing a lot here, by the way, from Shawn's entrance.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shawn's entrance with the fucking mirror just walking down with Sherry. Yeah.
So good.
That's so fucking narcissistic. I mean, it's Shawn. It works.
I love Shawn's, like, fucking, like, S&M relationship that he kind of had with Sensational Sherry.
yeah. I ain't
Like,
gonna lie.
immediately he rejected it when he got put with her. But he made it work. He would do things like, he would basically put her in her place. He'd, like, throw her down to the floor and have her pose on the floor while he poses, like, above her.
Yeah.
Such little details
Yeah.
that made such a good character.
It really
Like,
did,
these
yeah.
two were a perfect pair.
Yeah. No doubt.
And
Why
then-
would you break them up?
I don't know.
It's I know the shoot reason why, because Michaels didn't want her. I know that's the reason why. But these two work so beautifully.
Bro, could you have
Yeah.
imagined too, like, if they lasted longer, like Sherry and China as their
It would've been
fucking
grand.
heavies? Holy shit!
Yeah, that would be
My
awesome.
God,
It would have been great.
like it would have been
Um,
phenomenal. Legitimately, it would have been great. I said in my notes, as you were talking about the match, Owen, this is a decent wrestling match so far, and it will only get better. All because they can't hit each other in the face. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
it was really good fucking psychology here. And then I wrote right after that, after they do the bump off the apron for Sherry, I said, could have been great. But then Sherry faked her death for them fighting over her.
Yeah, and then it led to Shawn Michaels looking out for her, and it led to a big.
And I'm...
It led,
Oh, hold on. Looking out for her by hoisting her up like she was a fucking keg of beer.
yeah,
So
then
you're
it led
picking
to-
her up, and they're literally right on her ass. And then Vince and Heenan are like, is that Jupiter? No, I think that's the moon.
yeah.
Like,
Not the best day.
no.
Wasn't the best day to watch it because
No,
yesterday.
not after everything that came out, no.
Well, like, there's a lot of good, really good quips here. Like, because, like, they allude to, like, these lads, like, getting their asses out when they do the roll-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah? And, like, Vince is like, oh, there's, Shawn getting his moon out.
yeah,
And, like, Bobby Heenan's like, what, Sherry? And, like, Vince's reply is, not now.
yeah,
I'm like, oh, damn. Like, for 92, that's big.
yeah.
It's a big deal.
Probably.
But yeah,
Oh no, he said Rick Martel is gonna Shawn was gonna power drive Rick Martel, not Sensational Sherry.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then like
yeah.
Vince was like, no, not right now. I'm like, oh,
yeah, that was.
Oh my God, I didn't even...
like this is
Block
92, dude.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, I didn't even clock that. That's fucked up. Hi, Mike.
Really good fucking lines
folks.
here.
We are still in the midst of reviewing the show. We just got to Shawn Michaels, Rick Martel.
Oh, is that the thing where Vince kept telling people, hey, don't pile drive Sensational Sherry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yep.
So then,
Which I don't agree with.
So then
Oh, no. He should have ECW pile drive her, like Tommy Dreamer style. Fuck it, right?
Oh damn.
God.
Let her
damn.
titties hang out. Let her titties hang out.
Anyway, what were you saying, Owen?
So yeah, then it led to Shawn Michaels and Rick Martel fighting over who was going to carry Sherry Martel to the back. it's kind of funny because we watched SummerSlam 2000, but after this, and they kind of do the same storyline with Triple H and Kurt Angle. So it's funny to see it done beforehand. And then afterwards,
what happened?
you know what, Shawn?
For the money.
For the money, indeed.
For the
So
money.
So afterwards, Shawn Michaels was carrying into the back after fighting off Rick Martel, and he got sent backstage. Rick Martel ran back out with a bucket. We didn't know what was in the bucket. You know, it was
water,
buckets
pretty much, yeah. And then he just dumped it all over Sherry.
And Shawn bailed. And Shawn actually like pretty much forced Sherry to take it because he dropped her in position where she was gonna, or at least put her in position where only she was gonna get wet. So yeah, that happened, and then yeah, nothing really came of this. I don't really think much came of this. There was no follow up to this. I don't think really. It was kind of just like a one and done thing, which is kind of a shame. I think it could have turned something into this. Maybe make a tag team out of it, or maybe you know,
or
had
another fucking regular match. But you know,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a shame, especially for Sherry, because like she basically gets shit canned by Shawn after this, and then she turns babyface, and her role in that is basically, I think, Tonka versus someone.
why didn't
I think
she go with Rick Martel then?
Oh, no idea.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
She
Why
turned-
wouldn't you
she
go
turned
with
face.
Rick?
Yeah, she turned face.
Like, because Rick, like, you know, he was a heel gimmick or whatever, but, like, if you actually, like, break down that cocky demeanor, like, you could have turned the guy face. Like, especially later on in this WCW run, like, he did fucking great.
No, boys, you're missing the big thing. Sherry dropped Michaels to go with Tonka.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right!
And
What?
Michael,
Butter-
I think Michael's
Butter-
actually feuded with Tatanka.
He
And
did,
he
yeah.
had-
Captain Butterface with the stupid red strip that looks like menstrual blood is fucking your boyfriend right now?
Yeah.
Like, really?
I'm pretty sure, like, Michael's had... Is it Luna? Luna Vachon?
Yeah.
I think he
I
had Luna for a little bit, and then it would go to Bam Bam later,
Yeah.
which was better.
I don't remember when this happens, but there's an angle where Michaels and Marty are trying to get their fucking feud going, but Marty still fucking keeps doing the blow. He keeps doing fucking drugs and keeps getting kicked out.
He keeps falling asleep in the back, and Michaels keeps telling people
he did do that.
Yeah, he did.
That is for true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And then
There's
and then it happened to him by Triple H. How ironic.
Yeah, there's a segment where Sensational Sherry is holding the mirror for Michaels, and then Michaels sees Marty in the mirror, which is a really good angle. I don't know what show or what pay-per-view it is,
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
Sean or like
It might have
Marty
been it might have been the
uses-
Raw before they actually had their IC title match.
Maybe.
I think.
Because Marty grabs the mirror and smashes it straight over Sherry's fucking face, and she ends up having to have surgery in her eye because she has fucking glass in her eye for real.
Yeah, I remember this, yeah.
I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah. It was,
Sherry,
Why-
let's put it like this. Besides, to give an example, besides fucking Miss Elizabeth, Sherry, Luna, and even fucking every woman that walked in the company during '92, all the way up to like 2012, were just there as meat.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
just fucking meat on a stick.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like I said this when I was talking about like Michaels and Sherry. Michaels never
Yeah.
wanted like Sherry there, but for the time that he had her, he made it work by basically putting her in her place, like throwing her down to the floor and having her pose like in a very submissive
right.
kind of fashion.
And it actually
Which I thought
worked.
was really
Like,
good.
It really worked for his gimmick.
It did.
It made
yeah.
Michaels look really good. He made him look very like, I don't know what the word would be for it, but like he made him look.
We'll just say dominant.
Good.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it put him over.
Let's just put it. Let's just put it in
Yeah.
perspective. Do you want to go over, Owen, where everybody is now? Sherry, Michaels, and Martel?
Shawn Michaels is the easiest one. He basically went on to become a huge star in the wrestling business. He would become a multiple-time Intercontinental.
Yeah, he became a drug addict, an alcoholic, a general piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget, a misogynistic asshole that uses religion to cover up his exploits. Or as I like to call him, a Catholic.
But anyhow,
continue.
Other than all that stuff, he became like a multiple-time Intercontinental champion. He was the face of the company from 96 until about 97, and then 98, and then he had to step away from the wrestling, retire because of his back injury.
After being a dick.
Yeah.
Would you really say that he was the face of the company from 96 to 97? Really?
Well, he kind of gatekeeped.
Yeah, he was.
That's more of a better word.
Yeah,
he's kind of the gatekeeper.
Because I would call the face of the company between like 94 to 96 Brett, and then 96 to 2001 is Stone Cold.
Yeah.
That is fair. That is fair enough.
Like,
again, Michaels was always the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
He's the Seth Rollins of his time.
Well, I mean, worse. Listen, Rollins gets pissed off, and then he just goes to Twitter and says, "Shut the fuck up! You don't even understand. Shut the fuck up, okay? You don't even understand." And then Michaels would just be like, "Okay, so how do I get you fired in the most believable way possible?"
Yeah.
And then Shawn Michaels after
he came back in 2002 and then had probably the best comeback run of any wrestler.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially in that company that you would ever see. I mean, the matches were fucking outstanding.
Didn't he join the NWO?
Yes,
and then betrayed.
And then the NWO fizzled out after he betrayed Booker T because Nash tore his quads.
Betrayed everybody in the group.
Yeah, and then Nash tore his quads, and that was it.
And then had the best run of his career. He became Mr. WrestleMania and all that type of stuff. He retired in 2010.
After two amazing matches with Undertaker.
Yeah, had stayed retired. He was basically a head trainer in NXT.
And then Saudi Arabia happened, and now let's just leave it at that.
As for Sensational Sherry, we mentioned all the stuff that kind of happened with Shawn Michaels and stuff. She went to WCW for a bit. She returned to WWE as a one-off, getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then was part of.
We missed a lot there.
Did she? Well, okay. What do we miss?
Well, she was around after the Michaels stuff. She went to USWA.
Oh, God.
Oh, don't forget about the Macho Man stuff too.
Yeah.
Well, the Macho Man stuff was before this.
No, that's true. But if you're gonna go over the overarching thing, it's like she went to Macho, then she went to Michaels.
In this instance, I think, and the way the retro works is from the point that we're reviewing all the way into their,
Oh no, I completely agree. But it's like if you're talking about probably one of the biggest ringside managers of the classic / new generation, probably the new generation. You gotta kind of at least say at some point, she was a part of one of the most interesting storylines of professional wrestling with Macho Man Randy Savage and Mr. Elizabeth. Warrior was just fucking there.
Yeah. And then, she was in USWA.
Eastern Championship Wrestling. Before she turned into ECW
for like a week.
Yeah. Well, she managed Shane Douglas.
Right.
Who was teaming with Brian Pillman at the time. Yep. And she basically cost Douglas the match on behalf of Ric Flair, which then led her to go into WCW.
And then, she went to WCW. I believe she was in NWO for a little bit.
Really?
I guess so. She managed Harlem Heat.
That is true. I forgot about that. Actually.
Yeah. That's probably the most.
And she fucking wore the face off
she was the one when Booker T called Hogan the N-word. That's right.
She fucking wore the face off of fucking Robert Parker.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
She got inducted into the. Then she returned to WWE. Got inducted into the Hall of Fame, I believe, in 2005 or 2006, roughly around that time.
2006 by Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
And then
she went to TNA.
She was on. Yeah, she was in one episode where it looked like she was going to be the manager of Robert Roode, but nothing really came of it. Really.
That would have been really cool, though.
I wouldn't have hated that.
I wouldn't have.
That would have
at
been
all.
pretty. Stellar.
It would have made sense, especially in 2006. This is keep in mind, this is like NWA TNA.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't he have some other chick as his like secretary?
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah.
It would have been way better with.
I'm pretty sure like because she ended up dying of an overdose in 2007. So I'm pretty sure her drug issues got bad. So that's probably why it didn't materialize.
Yeah. You know?
Homicide investigators in Alabama released the toxicity report stating that she died of an overdose of multiple drugs in her system, including high amounts of oxycodone.
Oxycodone.
Oxycodone, yes.
Yeah.
And then the last bit that it said is she was cremated after her death.
Yeah.
And obviously one of the biggest things yeah, it is. One of the biggest things I don't want to make sure she was a part of that segment with Kurt Angle when he
Sexy Kurt. You can't forget about that.
Sexy Kurt.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
All-timer shit. That fucking segment.
Like, Sherry, honest to God, yes, at a certain point you could tell that the age was catching up, but she still looks fucking great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I said this at the beginning. Like, there's two women I think of when I think of like 80s or 90s wrestling. Well, three, if you really want to go there. There's obviously Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah.
The sensational Sherry, which is who I would pick over Elizabeth because I think she had a way better character.
Yeah.
And then you have Woman. Like those three women made an impact in a world of muscular, roided up men.
Yep.
Look at
like they made a big fucking impact.
Well, speaking of,
James, what's
Shawn
rating?
Oh, fucking Rick Martel! I think we forgot to mention where his whole
he
thing.
really didn't do all that much after this match. Like
he went to have a few more matches in the WWF, I remember, and then he had a hell of a run in WCW before it ended up getting cut short.
Correct, yeah.
He had like banger matches with Booker, I remember, for the television title. It was about like '98. The roster was fucking loaded with talent. Like so fucking ridiculous how much talent they had, and they fucked it all up.
Just like the problems with actual WCW, they looked at their roster. And they said, Hogan, what do you want to do? And he just looks at them and says, make me the top guy.
Yep, pretty much.
And they went, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Which it was for a while until it wasn't, so.
Dude, Hogan is cursed. Whenever he is the top dog of a company, and this is just, looking at his career as a whole, he gets to the point where he gets a little too fucking big for his britches.
Yeah.
And then the decline happens because it becomes the Hulk Hogan show.
Hey, let's talk about that because his friends are next. You want to talk about non-roiding news?
Well, James, first, what style rating did you give the Rick Martel Shawn Michaels match?
I gave it 3.25 because there wasn't much to go off of. They ended up.
There's a lot of story, but there's not a lot of wrestling going on.
Yeah, I gave just for the story alone and the wrestling. I give it 3.75 because I really
definitely told
the
story in this match.
Yeah,
but there wasn't a lot of story to bite off of outside of it. I always thought that Sensational Sherry was probably the MVP of the match, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah, sure.
Because she's the one who really had her working boots on. Fuck me, they dropped her on her head so many times, walking her up that fucking ramp.
That was really,
what
really
the
scary,
fuck?
Dude. Never, you could never do shit like that nowadays. They'd have to do
way
safer, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, talk about the interview. You can talk about the interview, James, of Hogan's friends.
I said the Nasty Boys promo was Shawn Mooney. I literally wrote, and this is all I wrote for it, one of the worst promos I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, it was a lot of them.
I don't know, man. That's a steep hill.
I said one of the. It ain't the, but it is definitely one of the worst, man. It's grade A garbage. The worst is from fucking. I'd say the worst is from. Yeah, but continue, Owen. Just say whatever the fuck was said by these.
So, what I got from it was they were talking about, they didn't think it was fair that they weren't wrestling for the WWF Tag Team titles. So Jimmy Hart promised that they would get a tag title match, and there was a conflict of interest because he was also managing Money Inc. and he had promised them to get a tag title match. So that was kind of a bit of a storyline plot there for the foreshadowing. And then they talked about the WWF title match and whose corner Mr. Perfect was going to be in, and then they did more yelling and more yelling and more yelling. I'm someone that when someone yells at me, sometimes I'll just zone out after a while because it just sucks. So that's kind of what happened. So,
kind of what the Nasty Boys were, though, right? That's all it was. Just big fucking shouty promo. Just like, yeah, whatever, man. Just this shit died years ago.
But we didn't really talk about. That's the one team we forgot to talk about where the Nasty Boys went. So this actually was interesting because this was foreshadowing because remember how I believe it was the Natural Disasters were once with Jimmy Hart. They actually turned babyface. Nasty Boys ended up turning babyface the same way that the Natural Disasters turned babyface because
Jimmy Hart
I believe
was being a carny piece of shit pretty much.
Yeah, he ended up helping Money Inc. Win the tag titles, and he turned on the Nasty Boys. I believe it was supposed to lead to a feud between the Nasty Boys and Money Inc., but I believe it was a mixture of Ted DiBiase's injuries caught the best of them, and so they couldn't really do that storyline. And also, I believe after a while, the Nasty Boys ended up getting released because they were a pain in the ass to deal with backstage, and they were
Connie.
And they were so stiff in the ring, no one really wanted to work with them anymore, so they were released.
I think they were in WCW for a little bit. Then they went to ECW, I think, for like a cup of coffee. Then they
were Hogan's mates.
Yeah,
from what I remember.
Pretty much. So they got hired because of that factor, and then they were in TNA afterwards. Like, they were not heard of in a while, except for like on Hogan's Knows Best. You saw Brian Knobbs on that fucking shit.
I think, the response to that was they looked the TNA fans at the time looked at them as soon as they came in and went, "No, this is I've had enough." That is where everyone kind of
Kitty City anymore. I want to leave Kitty City. I don't want to be here anymore.
People just weren't into this.
I'm pretty sure, by the way, too, they went over the Dudleys in their first match. Well, Team 3D
pissed everyone off because, Bubba, sure, can be a dick, right? But bottom line is, and they didn't have the greatest matches in TNA all the time. But the bottom line is, they were the reason the tag team division got fucking eyes.
Listen,
what
bro,
TNA was doing.
You gotta work.
Yeah.
Your fucking pay your dues, bro.
Right.
In this business.
As for Jimmy,
but no, for real, it was so the Dudleys getting buried by the fucking Nasty Boys.
Oh yeah, it's fucked up.
Fuck that. We're done.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
it was the end of TNA, pretty much as you knew it at that point.
I'm pretty sure, too, they were pulled off TV shortly afterwards. They didn't do anything else in TV.
No, I think they were pulled off TV because they said some really fucked up shit similar to fucking Bubba the Love Sponge. And they all got released at, the same time.
So, I'm sorry, you threw a lot of words at me real quick. Could you say that again?
The Nasty Boys, along with Bubba the Love Sponge, all got released because they said some fucked up shit, I believe, about Awesome Kong.
No, but wait, is that a common name that Bubba Ray Dudley goes by?
No, different person entirely.
Okay, because I'm wait a second, hold the fucking phone here. That is not a name I have ever heard Bubba Ray Dudley go by.
No,
That's
definitely.
just my porn actor name.
Yeah, that he was a
Only-
yeah. That was much.
As for Jimmy Hart, he would continue to have a few stints as a manager, managing Money Inc. and stuff. I believe he was out of WWF by like
Manager.
95.
And then he went to
96.
WCW in '96 with Hogan, or actually no,
94.
94 with Hogan, and then he
And he made all their music.
made all their music, which was basically just ripping off hit songs and then claiming it was his.
Hey man, it worked.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, indeed.
And then
Allegedly.
It's
Was he in-
legally distinct.
was he in WCW?
Legally enough.
Was Jimmy Hart in WCW pretty much until it folded for the most part? Or?
I
Pretty much
believe so,
making
yeah.
music. Like he did make the music, definitely. But
And
I
then he
don't know
just
if for an on-screen. Yeah.
Yeah. He makes occasional appearances in WWE. I believe wasn't he on that same show too with the Nasty Boys when they beat Team 3D? Wasn't he the manager?
Yeah, and everybody got released pretty much. Jimmy Hart now just is Hogan's running mate for the fucking beach resort they have. That's pretty much what he's doing now.
Yeah. All right, continuing with the show. We had a sleeper match on the show. It was the Beverly Brothers, which consisted of... I have to find it because I had to go look up Lloyd Alfred Hayes.
Yeah.
It consisted...
Oh, Jesus.
I consisted of Boo and Blake. I believe that's how you say that.
Yeah.
With the Genius...
With the
With the
genius
gen-
Lanny Poffo, yeah.
Which was cool. They were challenging the Natural Disasters for the WWF Tag Team Championships.
Which was Typhoon and Earthquake, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, what a fucking team.
Yeah, they were really good here.
Like, Typhoon and Earthquake are probably like one of my favorite teams ever because it's just like, let's just get the big boys together and just let them do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Who cares?
good.
It's so
Honestly,
good.
really good
For
show.
like no reason.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
they had the belts put on.
I
Fucking
agree.
Tugboat and Mudslide did really good together, apparently.
Yeah, and yeah, go ahead, Owen. This is all I wrote for notes on this. I said, really awesome tag match. I wrote 3 3/4 stars. This did its job pretty well.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
The Genius did a promo. He recited one of his poems. It was pretty much just saying that
The Beverly Brothers would be the tag team champions.
Yeah. And then what a match here this was. It was exactly the type of match you would have thought these two teams would have. It was the big heavyweights. They dominated the Beverly Brothers for a while, using all their power moves on them. And then eventually the Beverly Brothers, it just took one little slip for them to finally get the advantage on the heavyweights. And they targeted the ribs of Typhoon for a long-ass time, which was kind of surprising they worked on the ribs. I thought that was clever. Usually they have the little guys work on the legs, but they kind of changed it up and actually
what was
put
his
on the
finisher?
ribs. I don't know what the Beverly Brothers finisher was.
No, not the Beverly
only...
Brothers. What was the finisher for Typhoon?
I believe they both had like big ass giant standing splashes. Both.
Yeah. And then
Typhoon
eventually
use a standing spot?
I think so.
he did.
Because
Yeah.
I know Earthquake, he had his big whoopsie fucking finisher where he jumped on your fucking like a running
Yeah, it was a running bonsai drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that he never critically hurt anybody with that,
He
is
was so
fucking
safe.
mental to me.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
I don't even know
crazy.
how.
Yeah.
because he was a really nice guy.
I mean, Mike, you
Because he was
forget.
a really nice guy.
Genuinely.
You're forgetting. He almost ended Hulk Hogan's career with that move, man. Come on, you're forgetting
Yeah.
about
He
that.
deserved it though.
Yeah, no, fuck
Yeah,
him.
but Hulk,
Fuck that bitch.
and his nickname is Cunt Hogan.
Ha
Like that, I didn't come up with that. That's just what the internet came up with, and it's
Yeah.
that's one way to put him.
Yeah.
I also like
But
to nickname him Thunder Lips.
Continue.
But yeah, they had some really good tag team psychology in this match. There was a point in the match where they did the typical hot tag spot where Earthquake got the hot tag, but the ref didn't see it, so he had to put him back in his corner. They did a lot of really cool double team moves in this match. The referee at one point was distracted by Earthquake because he got pulled off the apron, and he went after Jimmy Hart and the other Beverly brother. I can't tell which one was which. This is the only match I've ever seen of the Beverly brothers, so it would take time. I would have to watch a lot of the matches. and the other one hit Typhoon in the back with a scroll, and he got a really nice near fall off of that. Eventually, Earthquake got the hot tag, and he went to town onto one of the Beverly Brothers.
Yeah, Earthquake just fucking wrecked house here. Like, he was so good.
And eventually, they both hit the run and splashes. It was like Earthquake got the hot tag, and basically the Beverly Brothers were done at that point. They didn't get much offense in after that.
He just beat the shit out of them, and they retained really dominant fucking tag win here.
Really good match.
Such a good match. It was really, really well done.
This is like 3.5 stars. It's like a sleeper tag match. You wouldn't think this match would be good because the Beverly Brothers aren't really a well-known team, and you would look at like, the Natural Disasters and think this is going to be like a crap tag team. But if you sit down and actually watch this match, it's a hell of a match.
Yeah,
it's probably the best match of the entire night. Honestly, it's fucking fantastic.
It's one of the best match to me is still going to be the main event. We'll get to why later because that was a match.
Of course, but I mean, if you were to like talk about a single match that did its job, like immediately, it's like this hit the notes that it needed to hit. Every team got their shit in. Nobody feels like that they were fucking not doing what they were supposed to do. Felt good. It was a good match.
Very good match.
Natural Disasters versus fucking... Legion of Doom needs to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. I mean, I know most of the fucking members are dead, but like, hey, like, resurrect them. Let's have the match.
Yeah, do it in 2K.
I gave it a 3.5. I gave this match 3.5 stars. It was a really good tag match here. As for where everybody is now, the Natural Disasters will go on to lose the tag titles. You know, when that storyline I mentioned with Money Inc. and the Nasty Boys that was supposed to happen and stuff. They were teasing a split between the Natural Disasters, but Earthquake left the company and went to WCW shortly afterwards, so they never ended up doing that storyline. And then I believe
fucking move on his behalf, if you don't mind me saying.
I'm pretty sure Earthquake was in WCW. Wasn't he a part of that like?
I think he was in New Japan first as well. Didn't he have a run in New
Dungeon and Doom, brother.
Yeah. Oh man, Shark. He was Shark. I forgot. No.
Go cover up your tattoo with this shitty shark.
Shark.
And then Earthquake came back to WWE for like a short cup of coffee. Not actually for a short cup of coffee. It's just a figure of speech. Pretty much he just went to the Indies for a while, and he hasn't really done all that much in wrestling. I believe he went into I don't think he's gone into the Hall of Fame yet, but he should someday.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And then, as for Typhoon, he was a lower card act in WWF, and guess who Typhoon went to be in WCW? The Shockmaster!
Oh, no, that's right, Tugboat. No, didn't he have a Tugboat gimmick before then as well, while he was in the WWF?
Tugboat.
He went from Typhoon to Tugboat to Shockmaster. Fuck me.
I believe Tugboat was before. He was Typhoon. And then,
my bad. I'm sorry. That's right.
He went to WCW, was the Shockmaster. I know it's like a meme now and stuff. I really feel bad that that's going to be Typhoon's legacy in the wrestling business. That he had botched that entrance. I really feel bad for him. That
wasn't even his fault. It was just WCW sucked at planning the spot.
I know.
Seriously, what the fuck?
And then I believe he went to, I believe he had another gimmick in WCW that was equally almost as bad. I forget what it was though.
Something probably involving the Dungeon of Doom, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
And then he went back to WWF for a period of time, and he hasn't really done much in the wrestling business since. As for the Beverly Brothers, they were basically a lower card tag team act for a while. One of them ended up leaving and went to WCW. I don't remember which one. And then the other one stayed for a while, and then they went and did the Indies. They teamed up one last time, and believe it or not, one of the Beverly Brothers is in WWE now as Cal Bloom, who's wrestled now as Von Wagner in NXT, who sucks.
Yeah, you mean the son? You mean the son of one of the Beverly Brothers? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not his fault he sucks. It's that he's being put on TV way too soon.
And also the fact his gimmick sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're gonna say. The only reason why he's not doing good is because he's autistic, and I was gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Hey, damn, Owen. All right, let's go.
Can't say that on YouTube. I mean, you're not wrong, but
let's go.
Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers. Yeah.
this was a weird interview. They got asked about a match they weren't even in with the with
No,
the WWF.
wait, no, hold on. Are we really not gonna like talk about?
Oh, the Genius.
No, are we not gonna talk about fucking
Oh fuck, that's right.
Lord Alfred Hayes?
We already did.
Oh, I did that. That's
No,
after
the
this.
next segment with Ultimate Warrior.
No, that's
That's
after that.
That's after
Believe it or
this.
not, and what we saw.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold
we
on.
gotta talk about.
Yes.
We gotta talk about.
Okay.
We gotta talk about where the Genius is. The Genius really just stayed a manager in WWF. I believe he left the I don't think he ever went to WCW, to be honest. I believe he left the wrestling business like entirely.
No, he was in WCW for a little bit as the Genius, I think. They couldn't call him that, but
Mr. Perfect's dick.
yeah.
And then
Oh yeah, that's right. He was managing Mr. Perfect. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure after WCW he didn't really do much. He probably just did indie.
He made like a cameo appearance at All In for Jay Lethal and gave him the Black Machismo gimmick by touching his shoulder. I think.
And then he showed
crazy ass segment. It was great.
Yeah.
He's really good at conventions. He's done a lot of good share conventions.
And then he showed up to accept the induction for Macho Man Randy Savage when he went into the Hall of Fame, because obviously Savage couldn't show up to accept it because he was dead by that point. So,
lazy cunt.
So yeah, then the Bushwhackers got interviewed. They gave predictions to a match they weren't even in with the WWF title match, and then they did some more,
the Bushwhackers are promoting the Warrior versus Macho Man match in the UK. They have nothing to do with this. Why is all I wrote. Like, why are you having this team just talk about the match? It
was weird.
Like, I didn't get it. Like, they have nothing to do with this, but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Then we had Lord Alfred Hayes continue his investigation of Mr. Perfect.
This was hilarious.
He was whispering throughout these segments too, because he didn't want to be known that he was even there. Big
pervert.
He was like saying, "I am outside the door. I'm going to do something that I not normally would do. I'm just gonna open the door, and I'm going to see what happens." And the first thing that I thought of was, Lord Alfred Hayes, man, you should talk to Jake the Snake. That's not a good idea, brother. Don't open the door on the Warrior. You won't like the results. So
hilarious.
He opens the door, and then Ultimate Warrior, as Warrior probably did, like a dick, shuts the door on him as hard as he could. And then he just goes,
I don't know, man. Like, the way this was shot and the way it looked,
great,
it looked like fucking, because he got like a little like crack like in the door, and all you see is Ultimate Warrior's hand just going
yeah, and then it goes.
His hand was
fucking
like
hilarious.
His hand was
I
like
was
shaking.
fucking rolling on the
his
fucking
hand
floor.
was shaking, yeah, true.
Boy, his hand was shaking.
And then,
this shouldn't have been funny, but
it was fucking hilarious. And then, what was it? Fucking, he then goes, "My word, well, that doesn't mean that, Mr.
I must say,
I don't think that Mr. Perfect is in his locker room. That's not what that means at all, but this show was a demonstration of rudeness. Back to ringside with Vince and Bobby Heenan." And then Vince right after that goes,
Honestly though, the fucking cheek of him. Like, seriously.
It's so good.
What the fuck?
It's so based.
I know we have a graded segment. This segment gets an S rank.
Unbelievable.
Cheeky cunt
Yeah.
tries to open the door without knocking, and then has the fucking gall to fucking give out to fucking Ultimate Warrior. What a mate. The fucking state of you. What is wrong with you, man?
Yeah, pretty much.
Get out of here.
Pretty much.
Now, Mike, I know you probably haven't seen this segment in years, but from what we described it, is there anything you want to talk about this segment with Lord Alfred Hayes that we haven't said?
I'll be honest, you guys covered it pretty good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Lord Alfred Hayes for you, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody.
And then we had
a fucking waste.
Yeah, he got wasted in the WWF, but he was great all night here. He was like right up there.
Oh, hold on. Oh, James, don't worry, because he'll never shut up about how much you need to watch Coliseum home video.
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
Probably
so
know I watched
Next match 5.
No. We need to talk about something here
Okay, go
that
ahead.
you guys wouldn't have got.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, if you were watching this live on Monday night in England, because
Okay.
obviously in the UK we have time zone differences, so this is at 1 a.m., right?
Okay.
Oh, it wouldn't have been 1 a.m. It would have been like a Monday, like, afternoon or whatever.
Okay.
If you were watching this, Sky Sports had the fucking gall to interrupt SummerSlam to show Monday Night Football results with Andy Gray and fucking Keith, whatever the fuck. Fucking, oh my god!
Are
Like-
you fucking me?
I'm not
No.
kidding!
Wow.
Like, the fucking cheek of Sky Sports to interrupt. This is a pay-per-view, bro!
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
fucking
Jack,
cheek
fuck
of it.
you. No, Jack.
Honestly.
Fuck you. You're a wrestling fan. Fuck you. You don't get paid.
Well,
We don't get
keep in mind,
paid
Jack
enough to
Jack
watch
wasn't
it.
alive
No,
when this aired anyway.
was Richard.
but-
It was Richard Keys and Andy Gray. By the way, the fucking state of Andy Gray. Holy shit!
First
Yeah.
off, I didn't think if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't be talking that much fucking shit then.
Well,
And second, I
what-
wouldn't be
so-
talking
so
that
how
much
long-
fucking shit then.
how long did this go on for as they interrupted the pay-per-view? I'm curious.
Well, like, okay, so they were talking about Norwich and Nottingham Forest.
Right.
No, I don't expect you to know who either of
No,
those
no,
are.
I get that, but
So
okay.
this was around the time that the Premier League had just come into play. This was when the major clubs, the major money-making
really?
clubs,
Okay.
Manchester United, Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, Arsenal, fucking Wolverhampton, like, there were so many clubs that were making really good money. This was basically when FIFA went from a national sport to basically being a global phenomenon.
Right.
You know, this is like old men watching the fucking Sky Sports News just to see what the fucking results were. To watch fucking highlights of matches of people they didn't even fucking support because they
Right.
wanted to know what was fucking going on. This is like, I remember my granddad fucking sitting there, fucking stone-faced, looking at Sky Sports for hours on end. Fucking hours on end. Watching fucking Sky Sports. The fucking cheek of Sky Sports to do this
yeah.
in 1992.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I hope they got
fuck me.
black.
This-
I mean,
Like,
well, there was no social media, so of course not.
Well, like, okay,
No, I'm saying
keeping
by
in
that.
mind, you would lose the next match that was about to happen.
Oh.
You
Is that
wouldn't
so?
see the next match.
Oh, is that so, Jack? Well, it's
Well, let me
funny you
talk about-
mentioned that because the next
Let me hype
match, you honestly,
hype it.
when I read this, you might not have missed much. It's
me
Repo
hype it,
Man
please.
versus Crush.
Well, okay. To be honest,
But first,
Repo
Owen,
Man
go
was
ahead.
Repo Man was cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
but go ahead, Owen.
I was gonna hype it up and say, like, we've always wanted to see Demolition members mix it up, whether it was Crush, Axe, or Smash. And we finally got Axe versus Crush, just not in the way we wanted it. It was
Not at all.
it was Repo Man versus Crush, and let's just say though, Repo Man's theme, it rules. It's awesome. It's
I don't
an
know
awesome
why
theme.
it's so good. It shouldn't be as good as it is, but it is fucking based.
Andy
And,
Gray saying, "Take a boo, son. Take a boo."
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking
This
oh my
match
god.
was really bad.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I wrote. I mean, I'll just be quick about this. Best spot of the match so far was a military press slam where he deadlifted
Yeah, that was
Repo
good.
Man. Crush, that is. Crush doesn't own a move dictionary at all. Second best spot of the match was a knee drop from the top rope by Crush that didn't even connect because Repo Man
Yeah.
rolled out of the way. and then had the shittiest finisher that any person of his size could have. It was the vice grip that Khali had, except it's even worse because it was on Crush and not Khali.
Yeah.
So,
I mean...
And,
this
also,
is
there's
definitely
a spot-
something that he was told to take, right?
Yeah.
Like, he really wanted to do well. And I'm pretty sure when he tried doing different stuff on the, what the fuck are they called? The not home shows. House shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd try new stuff.
Yes.
And Vince would be like, no. You gotta do this.
That's why he left for WCW, because he wanted to try new stuff.
Like, he
and
really
was
wanted to
good
do
there.
well.
Yeah.
But he had no chance.
It sounds familiar
also-
nowadays.
Also, keep in mind that the Wembley Stadium is getting fucking dark. It gets really dark really quickly.
Yeah,
This is
it does.
in fucking fall in London. It gets so fucking windy and cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were out there freezing probably.
It was a bright sunny day when we started.
It was mild at best.
Oh, we fucked up.
It was mild at best.
It was alright.
Another spot in the match, by the way, I had to point this out to James, and we had to fast rewind the match and to watch it again. There's a spot where Repo Man just freaking stands there.
Yeah, and he's doing this. He's doing his little Repo Man taunt. It's like the worst.
Oh, his fucking diddle hole fingers.
Little fingers, yeah.
He's doing it and he's not doing this just for he does this for like 40 seconds, and it's the worst 40 seconds you ever spend in your life.
It's essentially what he does.
Yeah.
It's so weird looking at. Is it Axe?
Yeah.
That's Repo Man?
Yep.
It's so weird. It's like
It is.
night and
fucking
day.
weird, dude.
It's so strange.
Remember that time he steals Macho Man's hat?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah!
Hat. I'm representing your fucking hat. I'm taking your car. It's like, bro, you have to do, like, Vince, a job is not a gimmick.
No, well, let's go over the history of why the gimmick is a
Did
thing.
Macho Man not pay for that hat? Does it? He's like, I know you fucking earned 25 quid, mate. You can pay for this.
No. Repo Man broke into his garage and stole his hat.
Yeah.
And says, I'm repoing your hat. It's like, that's not how that...
I must say, this is the reason why it even exists, the Repo Man gimmick. Because Vince is a petty son of a bitch and had shit repossessed in the past. That's why the Repo Man character existed.
Okay, no, can I... Go on.
No, after you, man. You first.
No, I was just saying, like... What? Okay, first off, yeah. I am not going to believe, in kayfabe, that Macho Man Randy Savage got his hat repoed because he owed Repo Man money.
How do you repo a hat?
I know for a fact that he at least worked on fucking commentator tables and at least got 25 quid a week on Monday Night Raw. It's like, I know for a fact you got 25 quid, mate.
Well,
Just give him the 25 quid and get your hat back.
Yeah, true.
Come on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so going over...
Are you sure? Because I got a quick thing to talk about if you boys want.
I would if we weren't pressed for time.
Well,
okay.
I don't... No, he can just... Let's just... Because we're not going to have time to do the SummerSlam 02 review, like, recorded before this anyway, so...
Alright,
why not?
Alright, go ahead.
Okay. Can you list the other jobs that Vince apparently doesn't like that he turns into gimmicks?
IRS.
A baseball player. A hockey fucking player. A garbage man. Like, what the... Where do you come up with...
Yeah.
Plumber. A plumber.
A plumber.
Fucking plumber.
I don't even know, like...
Yeah.
Like...
What about... I know it's not a job, but what about a monk? Like, remember that monk thing came in for like a week?
Oh my god, right.
A giant turkey. Like, I don't even... Like, I made a list one day of, like, all the fucking gimmicks that Vince has ever come up with. It just, they went in a direction and we've never talked about them again.
No.
A cult leader. Like,
Yeah.
a religious cult leader. A fucking vampire.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of shit. A dude dressed as Spider-Man. Discount dollar store Spider-Man. Like, well,
Yeah,
what?
fucking some weird magician character. Yeah, that was a thing, too.
A magician. Like, I feel like Vince has a fucking phobia against normal chumps.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And a spaceman who has a fucking rocket arm,
Yeah.
but only for the entrance.
Freaking, they remember when he tried to make Farouk a fucking Spartan? Which made no sense.
A pimp.
Hey,
Yeah.
a pimp is not a regular job, man. Hey, listen. We can go over the gimmicks all day long, but, Owen, where's Repo Man and Crush now?
So Repo Man pretty much really didn't do all that much afterwards in WWF, because how could you with that gimmick? He left the company shortly afterwards, and then Demolition really wasn't in all that good of graces with WWE. It was to the point where they actually had the New Day break their tag title win. And you could say, well, the New Day was a hockey. Let's be real, the only reason they broke that tag title win is they wanted to get Demolition off the record books.
Because they were trying to sue him for concussion issues, basically.
And then Demolition, pretty much just toured the Indies. They did a stint in New Japan. I'm pretty sure. No, actually, they're both still alive. Actually, they were in WWE 12 randomly. I think they were DLC content, which was weird. It was kind of random that they were there. I'm pretty sure they were DLC content, but they were in the story mode somehow, which was weird.
Yeah, they're in the hero story. Which was fucking horrible.
Well, it just didn't make sense. How are you DLC, but you're in the story? Maybe I have that one. I'm pretty sure that's one, but I'm pretty sure I remember them being.
It is. You are right.
And
Mike
then
Tyson was DLC and was in the fucking story movie.
The next year.
Yeah. And then, as for Crush, he had an interesting career. He was this gimmick. Then he was he was in that biker group. Wasn't it Roads and Chains or something like that?
Yeah. Well, he was. He led the. What the hell was? No, wait. Was he?
Wasn't he? Was he in the
gay biker group?
Wasn't he in the Nation of Domination at one point too?
Yeah, he
was. Nation of Domination? What?
No, I think you're confusing it. I think you have to.
No, I know he was in a biker group in the New Generation era because he was with Farouk.
Yeah, okay. So it would have been the Disciples of Apocalypse then.
I'm pretty sure I remember him being in the Nation of Domination. Farouk kicked him. He was kicked out of that group, and then he formed the Disciples of Apocalypse. And then when that fizzled out, he was released from the company. He went to WCW. I know at one point he was Chronic. He was in that tag team Chronic,
which actually did really good, and he actually improved a hell of a lot in the ring. And then he fought. Chronic ended up fighting Undertaker and Kane, and
they got squashed.
Died.
Yeah.
Fucking
do you know what's fucked up? Crush had the opportunity to work with NWO Japan and turned it down because he said it was silly.
It probably, honestly,
alongside IRS.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably fair to be fair.
I knew.
So nobody.
How do you turn that down?
I know why. Because Inoki was probably fucking that group over by that point towards the end of its run.
No, dude. Inoki didn't start fucking them over till 2001.
I know.
Like the story for NWO Japan was good, but when Crush was in like 1999.
Yeah, it was like towards the tail end of it being fizzled out anyway in WCW.
Yeah, none of the wrestlers here really made out all that. You could make an argument that Repo Man made out, because Repo Man's still being talked about because that's the troll that Simon Miller.
Yeah,
that's the troll that Simon Miller talks about every time. He'll throw it in as a joke in his ups and downs. Like anytime he says a surprise entrant's going to come into the Royal Rumble, he'll say like,
"Oh yeah." So he's still relevant thanks to Simon Miller, pretty much.
Yeah,
I would say a little bit more than Mr.
Yeah.
And then,
I love using clips.
what do you rate the match, by the way? I rate the match 2 stars. It was a serviceable match.
I gave it
Fucking 1.5.
I gave it 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it is whatever. It is what it is.
And then we had, me and Jalen Oakland went over the history of the WWF title match, which I'm going to do in a couple seconds, so there's no need to talk about what Mean Gene said word for word, because I'll literally just talk about it in a couple minutes. Then we had the WWF title match. It was Macho Man Randy Savage defending the belt against Ultimate Warrior. So a couple of things to note in this match, because we noticed it when they showed the hype package. You could definitely tell, this wasn't when the steroid trial was going on, but you could definitely tell they were under investigation for the steroids, because Savage and Warrior were both covered up, because Warrior was wearing a singlet that covered his muscles, and Savage was wearing a t-shirt. And then I didn't even notice this.
Yeah, and I literally wrote, during this promo, Ultimate Warrior is wearing a giant Gonzalez-like singlet. What the fuck?
Yeah. And then you could tell that there was an investigation going on with the steroids, because Hulk Hogan was nowhere to be found at all or mentioned on this show.
24-inch pythons that are just strapped to a steroid viral.
Yeah.
Every time.
Pretty much.
So the storyline here was this was Randy Savage's first SummerSlam back since after he had been retired for a while. He had just come back to the business. He had won the WWF Championship from Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8, and Ultimate Warrior had returned on that same show. And this basically was the announced main event. It was going to be the rematch from WrestleMania 7, the retirement match. And the question that we had was, whose side was Mr. Perfect going to be on? Whose corner was he going to be on? And that was, going into the show, we didn't know that it played out. But holy crap, though, even without that part of the storyline, what a match this was. This was a hell of a WWF championship match.
Macho Man maximized the absolute most out of the limitations of the Warrior, and it showed big time. It was such a good match. It was so much better than it had any right of being. As the match progresses too, it's incredible.
Especially to what they had to live up to, considering the fact that this was the rematch from WrestleMania 7. They had a lot to prove in this match.
Yeah,
Savage. Basically, they both thought they went for the handshake right away, and at first Warrior wouldn't go for the handshake because they didn't trust each other because of the whole Mr. Perfect aspect to it.
Right.
And eventually he did go for the handshake, but then afterwards Warrior pulled Savage in, showing that he still didn't trust him, though. So it was kind of like a handshake, but he didn't respect him afterwards. And they both went at it. Warrior outpowered Savage throughout much of this match in the beginning portions of it because, that's just how it works if you watch a Warrior match. Savage had to use his technical prowess to get the upper hand on him. He pulled his trunk and he had to pull him into the corner. They did screw it up the first time, but they recovered from it the second time. And Savage did a lot of axe handles in this match. He did several of them outside the ring.
Axe bombers, get that shit right.
He did. Well, Vince didn't get it right. Why should I have to get this right?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah,
Savage had several axe bombers. He hit several of them outside the ring, several of them inside the ring. Savage threw Warrior into the post, and then he threw him ribs first into the steps. He targeted the ribs of the Warrior. And basically they were just having a really back and forth match where nobody really got the advantage on one another because it was a babyface versus babyface match. Yeah. And I think they added the Mr. Perfect element to it because I have a feeling they weren't sure how this match was going to work since it was babyface versus babyface.
But honestly, they could have taken that out of it, and you hear this crowd, they were ready for this Macho Man Warrior match. They were fucking hyped for it.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable how hyped this crowd was.
Fans were really into Warrior, and they booed Savage, but they were still just as into Savage at points, more than Warrior. It was weird. Then eventually Mr. Perfect and Ric Flair started making their way out to the ring. And then there was a spot in the match where Savage went to run off the ropes. And it was actually a spot in the match, by the way, too, where Savage did his running Heyman's over the ropes and he went outside the ring, I thought you like tore his knee off.
Yeah,
of
that looked
of,
bad.
how
Yeah,
he
that
landed.
looked rough the way he landed. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if like he didn't necessarily injure his knee, but he like tweaked it a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Because of how rough he landed. And then there's a spot where Mr. Perfect pulls on the legs of Savage, and the reaction of Vince and was really good here, where he said Warrior just sold out to Mr. Perfect, and the key was that Warrior was down too, so he didn't even know that this happened.
No clue.
So the crowd's thinking that the crowd's also booing Warrior by this point because they're thinking that he's sold out, and he does the Gorilla Press Slam. He hits the splash, but Savage kicks out. And then eventually, the match goes on for a bit, and everyone's cheering Savage and booing Warrior. And then eventually, Savage goes for the elbow drop, but he gets pulled off. He gets crotched under the ropes. So everyone's now thinking that, No, actually, I got that wrong. Warrior goes for this match. He gets pulled. And then the crowd's not. I think the crowd at this point, everyone's kind of realizing what's going on here, because obviously they both. The story of the match is that the heels are trying to manipulate the baby faces
into going against each other and breaking up the ultimate powers, pretty much.
Yeah. And eventually there's a spot in the match where Warrior gets pulled, and Savage realizes that he didn't do it, so he's obviously pissed about this. And he's gonna hit his elbow drop though, from the top turnbuckle. And I like that he had to really think about this. He had basically a Heyman Adam Page, a Sami Zayn moment from NXT Takeover when he won the title.
Yeah, he's looking at the heels, trying to freaking egg him on, and he's like, "Nah, fuck this. I know what you're trying to do." And then he turns it to try to do an axe bomber to Flair. Flair, unbeknownst to Savage, has a chair behind his back, and then just wallops him in the knee. And it's a count-out loss for Warrior because of that. And then after the match ends...
You mean a count-out win for Warrior?
I'm sorry, count-out win for Warrior. And then afterwards, they're beating the shit out of the faces. And they're getting major heat. The crowd's booing Perfect and Flair. Like, this was really the story of two matches that were told beautifully. I was unbelievably impressed with how this match came together. And then Warrior getting freaking attacked as well. And it was just basically the heels destroying the baby faces until Warrior finally hooks up, runs them off. They announced that Warrior gets the win via countout, but still the WWF champion, Macho Man Randy Savage. Warrior gets the championship, gives it to Savage. They shake hands. The crowd is going electric at this point. And then he's helping Savage to the back, and that was the match pretty much. That was fucking outstanding.
An outstanding match. Really outstanding.
I was expecting the worst. I really was expecting the worst, considering the opponent of Savage. And then I forgot. Wait a minute, this is a fucking Savage and Warrior match. And man, excellent fucking storytelling by these guys.
So dude,
all four involved did great. Like, no doubt.
This is what I wanted to tell you about here is the surprise I had for you. And so Warrior was actually supposed to turn heel. He was going to join up. Vince wanted to have him turn heel and join up with Flair and Perfect.
Really?
But I don't think Warrior's character is smart enough.
No way.
To turn heel.
So
unless
Warrior,
he was going to be a heavy
like
for Flair and Perfect.
The character of the Ultimate Warrior is he's a beast. He's not like a master manipulator who makes plans.
I think it would have worked if he was the heavy, but then you're immediately downgrading him from the card. Maybe that was the plan, but
he was supposed to turn heel and win the championship. And then, obviously Warrior turned it down the day of the show, so they went with this plan instead.
Okay, and Jack, you were saying?
I don't think it fits the character.
No, I agree.
I feel like,
I'm in complete disagreement with both of you, by the way.
Really? You didn't like this match?
I thought this match was dog shit.
Wow, okay.
Wow, yeah.
I am gonna have to agree with Jack on this.
And it's not the quality of, the match. Right. Well, it is in parts, but mostly like it's the
booking.
match is in stages, right?
Right.
You have, well, for one, at the very beginning, fucking Ultimate Warrior decides to spell respect wrong while he's talking to fucking Macho Man because he's like, you sold out for your own strap. Respect.
Have you read that comic? He's full of spelling fucking mistakes.
Like, he just fucking, like, he just spelled immediately before the match is even, like, started. I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay.
So that kind of distracted me a little bit. But, like, no, just as that match was going on, like, there's a lot of, like, really, like, they're having their match and, like, they have their story which is going on. Which, like, to be honest, the idea of, like, one of these guys, because if it was going to be someone who was going to sell out, it had to be Macho.
I agree.
It has to be Macho who sold.
Yeah.
But then when Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect came out, it took... Okay. When Macho and Warrior were having their match, it wasn't a great match. It was okay. It was a fine match. It's an acceptable match. I could watch it without complaining and be like, okay, cool. But, like, I wasn't, like, super invested into it. Like, I've been way more invested in Ultimate Warrior matches with other people and way more invested into Macho Man matches. Just something about these two just didn't gel. And I don't know what it was. And I think, if I were to guess, it's something to do with the fact that, like, if you said, like, Warrior changed the decision, like, on the fly on the day,
right? Yeah,
then that kind of ruined it. But the idea of like Mr. Perfect and fucking Flair coming down and battering the both of them to then get like a DQ victory for Warrior, and for the idea of this to be like a passing of the torch, because that's what it was supposed to be. Like, that's a confirmed fact.
Right.
This was supposed to be a Macho Man passing the torch to Ultimate Warrior moment, which is not at all what I got. It doesn't fit what they were going for. And look, I understand. I know that they wanted to do something different, and I can appreciate that. But like I said already, like I don't think Warrior's character fits this intelligent plan, you know. I don't think that will, because then you have to change his whole fucking gimmick.
Yeah, I agree. That's fair.
But like the idea that they wanted to have like a fucking passing of the torch, you have to have someone fucking win.
Yeah,
just have Macho Man lose the belt if you're gonna do that.
Who did he drop?
You don't need all this.
Who did he drop to eventually?
So I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that real quick because I know.
Oh, you can do it, yeah.
So what ended up happening here was later on in the show, I'm just going to talk about all this now. They did an interview with Flair and Perfect, and they talked about how their plan, even though Plan A didn't work, Plan B worked just as well, and they were all confident about it. And it was to set up a future match on TV and stuff. What ended up happening was because of what they did to Savage and the injury, obviously kayfabe, that he took from his knee in this match. Flair took advantage of the injuries, and it led to a match on TV where Flair beat Savage for the belts. And
okay.
So yeah, that's why I think that was Plan B. I honestly think this is probably why it kind of sucks back then that WWF didn't do triple threat matches, because I have a feeling you could have told the storyline better had you had Flair, Savage, and Warrior have a triple threat match, and you could have easily told their storyline a little bit better.
The problem with this is, before Randy Savage won the title against Ric Flair at WrestleMania, I think it was it would have been this year actually.
Yeah.
The story for that was obviously like Randy was getting fucking fucked over by Ric Flair, showing like Photoshop pictures of him and Elizabeth.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Classic story. Yep.
Before that, the fucking belt got vacated by Hogan.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a complete fucking purgatory.
Yeah, because I think the steroid trial was really kicking off by that point as well.
Yeah. So, what really takes the piss after this is obviously the way that, like, obviously Ric Flair wins the fucking, like, WWF title on Primetime Wrestling. This is in September. And then Bret Hart wins it on a fucking house show.
Yeah, that was a bad call.
Which is infuriating, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, for fuck's sake. Like, I'm not one who gets angry about this shit. This is 1992. What the fuck are you doing
yeah.
with your company?
Fair
Like, this
enough,
is the
yeah.
new generation. I understand that Bret was definitely the guy to fucking have that belt. Absolutely. But not on a house show, dude.
Yeah, especially
Put it
with
on
what-
T. And then he lost it against Yokozuna at WrestleMania 9.
Yeah.
Who then lost it to Hogan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different story. Yeah.
You know?
And that's the sad part is to go off the point. Brett himself kept that fucking company alive.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just... I don't understand what the fuck they were doing here. Especially
Maybe,
seeing as this was in England.
Well, the problem comes in...
I don't
and
mean to,
sorry
like,
cut
bomb
you
this
off,
out, by
Owen.
the way.
No, it's fine.
Like,
The reason why I'm not a fan of this match personally is because I've already seen the best match between
Warrior and
Savage.
Savage. I do
Yeah, which
remember
is
you
what
said.
they
I
said.
do remember you saying that, Owen. That the match at 7 was better.
Yeah, it was.
So
Like, miles better because it had so much more going on.
yeah,
Like, yes, is Warrior there? Is it a passing of the torch? Absolutely. But it should have been Brett in place of fucking Warrior.
yeah,
you know what
That
this
I
ultimately
could
did?
believe.
yeah. That's
Honestly,
fair.
you know what this ultimately did? This just led to Macho Man's demise. It led to fucking Warrior's demise because
yeah.
he fucked everything up. And they went, you know what? Flair, you're the dude. And Flair was like, cool, man. Let's fucking work. And then they fucking
I'm
shit on
gonna
him.
make sure I
And-
have sex with 6 holes tonight.
Well, like, Flair was doing really good work
Yeah.
Oh, you was.
here
Yeah.
in WWF. And then they just didn't want to support him anymore.
Yeah.
So he just lost, like, for his last WWF match at this time before going to WCW, he lost against,
Mr. Perfect and the loser leaves.
yeah,
Raw match or whatever.
and he just kind of left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it, seen a bit. I'm like, am I missing something?
No.
Like, genuinely. I'm
No,
not
that's
even
fair.
angry. I'm just like, what
I'm sticking-
what are we doing here?
I'm sick of Bye Point and say I still really enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
I can understand you I can understand you liking this match. But,
Yeah.
like, I'm thinking of it of, like, a...
The future doesn't
like
look
the future
great
in like a
after
bigger
this.
picture,
Yeah,
and what
that's
the
fair.
fuck were they
I
doing?
didn't even think about that when we watched the match. It was kind of like in a capsule. For
I don't
us.
like being
Yeah.
negative about this stuff. I'm just
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
like, you're going into the new generation.
And yeah.
Hogan's gone.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
And then they brought him back
Brought-
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They didn't just bring Hogan back, they pissed on everything.
yeah.
You know
That
who they
Michaels,
should have gone with?
Razor. What?
You know who they should have gone with? Who you just mentioned.
Go for it.
Right. Yeah.
Go for it.
They should have
Razor.
gone with Razor.
Razor. Yeah. Fuck.
They should have gone with Razor.
Yeah. Razor and
Razor
Macho
was
would've been a
so
fucking
fucking
great match,
over
yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
And it would've
And you know
worked.
who else they should have gone over with after they had Brett? Owen Hart.
Yeah.
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 Which they did.
'Cause that was your
for, like,
future.
A cup of coffee. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
to
would have
be
been
fair-
great.
All right. Let
To
me.
be fair, from Owen's perspective, he didn't want to be the top guy. And
I
it was very
understand that.
clear.
I
But
understand.
anyway, Mr. Finch, after you.
I was gonna read my notes because I never got a chance to read them.
Please.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. So, I said, these are my real-time notes. I was just pointing out shit I noticed. Well, here's the weird singlet again. The fucking Giant Gonzalez, like, singlet Warrior hat on.
Yeah.
Wow, is Macho Man over, is what I said. And then I said, Ultimate Warrior with Daniel Bryan yes kicks? Excuse me? He literally did that in this match. What the fuck? This is way better than I thought it'd be, is what I wrote after that. Macho Man is being booed, and Warrior is major over here. Won a match, 3 stories told in one, and all of them told perfectly, I thought, with what we know now. Now I would have fucking changed my opinion, but I rated it 4 3/4 stars, because I thought it was fucking outstanding. I think the crowd helped it a lot, too, to be fair.
Yes,
for sure.
definitely. If this was in front of, like, an American audience who always, like, had the chance to watch this shit, they would have gone, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and also, to make another note, this was when Mr. Perfect turned face.
True.
Which makes a really big difference.
Yeah. So yeah, as for where everybody went, we kind of talked about that a little bit. You know, how Savage lost the title, the whole thing about Warrior leaving after this. He would leave again. You know, Savage
went to WCW with Hogan.
Well, no. First, Savage, you know, went to be a commentator. Vince didn't see the value of him as a wrestler anymore. Then he got pissed and went to WCW. He basically was in WCW until like about 99. He did a lot of stuff there. Was in part of NWO, against NWO.
Hogan not catching him from the top of the cage and almost ruining his career.
Did ruin his career because his knees never recovered, actually.
He never recovered.
He won World War III, and Hogan couldn't even let Savage enjoy the moment. He had to be there for that.
Had to be there. Pissing, which is my favorite part of that whole thing.
Yeah. Then, you know, after WCW was done, Savage was kind of out of the wrestling bubble for a little bit. He would just do like con appearances and stuff. And then he went to TNA, had like a couple appearances there, had one match, if you want to call it a match that he had. And then basically he died in 2011 without really ever making any sort of wrestling appearance ever again.
Tragic car accident,
Yeah.
Oh, and you're forgetting about the best Randy Savage thing ever.
The rap?
Yeah, his rap album.
No.
That was funny for memes.
No. For memes, even though the guy worked his ass off on it, I'm not going to give the guy fucking shit for that. No. You're forgetting about Bonesaw's
ready. Yeah.
That's the fucking best. I will take nothing less.
Yeah.
Bonesaw's ready.
I remember seeing him watching the Spider-Man movie for the first time in 2001, and my dad looking at the TV going, "No.
Yeah.
That's not it."
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking state of it.
He looked rough. Yeah, he looked rough in that.
Honestly, though, he looked good, but
also rough.
They didn't look like Macho Man.
Not at all.
No.
That's why they called him Bonesaw. He was ready.
For full name, Bonesaw McGraw. Good fucking wrestler.
Bonesaw McGraw.
Bonesaw's ready.
Ready.
3 minutes of playtime.
Yo, could you have imagined him doing the Melee intro? Ready, go!
That'd be funny.
God. Give him chance, get that mod going.
Ready, go! This game's winner is Mario. Oh yeah!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's pretty
good.
Was
great.
That was pretty based.
Trying to start wasting money on voice actors to do Macho Man impersonations for all of Melee.
I will cover Warrior if you don't mind, good sire, because there's a lot. If you want to know the entire history of the Warrior, you don't even need to go with us.
Fuck Santa Claus!
Go to OSW's entire history of the Warrior. They literally cover it the best out of anybody on the platform. So if you want to see the history of where the Warrior ended up, check OSW review and their entire Warrior arc in WCW. Yeah. They literally go through everything. after this point, so just Trucity, indeed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's for Trucity. Let's go
He wrote
into
a comic book.
So we kind of already covered the Mean Gene interview with Blair and Perfect. We kind of already covered that.
and now we got Kamala versus Undertaker.
Yeah, Kamala was
Oh,
accompanied
boy.
by Kim Chi and Harvey Whippleman, and the Undertaker was accompanied by Paul Bearer. How weird is it to think? Not only was this Undertaker's first match at SummerSlam, he was the cool-down match before the main event. I mean, I know
What
technically
the fuck,
dog.
yeah.
I know technically the dog match was with the Berserker versus the Tonka, but let's be real, this was really the cool-down match if you didn't see that match.
One of the most epic entrances of The Undertaker you will ever see is him riding on the back of a fucking hearse
No,
with
that-
a coffin
that-
inside it. I mean, wow. And the
That
crowd is
I
fucking
would-
going ballistic for this guy.
I
It's
would
a good
say
visual.
out of all the wrestlers in professional wrestling, he has had the greatest entrances, top to bottom. Each one gets better.
Oh, no
Yeah.
doubt. Agreed.
Fucking-
100% agreed.
This SummerSlam's leading up to the WrestleMania where Brett wins off of fucking Yoko, right? Or is that next year?
That's the next year.
That's the next
This
year.
This is before
Fucking-
Brett even.
Taker coming down in the chariot with the buzzard on his arm.
That's fucking awesome, too, yeah.
Yeah, that's
like
awesome.
I don't know how Michael's got Mr. WrestleMania
Yeah, it
because
really
it's
should
his
be Taker,
fucking
man.
Undertaker.
Yeah. Undertaker was just Mr. Pay-Per-View with his entrances, man. Like even,
Every
dude, even just his American Badass base entrance at WrestleMania 17 is fucking iconic. I mean, every
Yeah.
entrance, honest to God, that Taker's had
Yeah.
is fucking
Yeah.
epic, man. Epic, man. Like, it's iconic. It's like a time capsule every time. And to think the dude's been doing this for years.
The entrance when he returns at the Royal Rumble 06 and like destroys the win while Kurt's in the win, like that's it.
As shitty as the match is, too, with Goldberg and him, that entrance he has in that fucking show. I've seen the entrance
Yeah.
thanks to Wrestling Bios. Fucking great there, too. There's
Yeah.
not one bad Undertaker entrance, I don't think. I don't think there really is.
There was a bad.
Elimination chamber.
Yeah, there was
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
there was one bad.
Oh,
one.
that's bad for hilarious purposes.
Yeah.
And we can laugh because Undertaker didn't die, thank God.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's funny.
The fact that he still wrestled after that too. Like,
Maybe-
No, Taker's cool. Like his
Yeah.
entrances are really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, going over this. So here's a little bit of a history lesson. A couple years ago, I asked Mike a quick trivia question: what the main event of SummerSlam 1992 was. He didn't know it, but somehow he remembered that this match was on the show. He remembered. This match was
I
on
remember
the
that! Oh my God, yeah! Holy shit, was this fucking
Hey.
wank.
Because it's so... Oh, and the only reason why I remember is because it's so fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You don't remember, like, I'll tell you right now, I'll remember some good shit. I'll remember some really good fucking shit. But I'll also remember some of the dumbest shit imaginable. And this match sucks with an S, a U, and an X.
You
at
know
the
what?
end.
We're gonna call an audible. I know you haven't seen this match in years, Mike. Do you remember anything from from this match, even though you haven't seen it? That would make,
Besides Kamala just constantly going, me know what to fight Undertaker. No, me know what to do this.
Yeah,
It's like,
pretty
what the
much.
fuck are you doing?
Mahler is the singer for Thorn in Your Eye. Confirmed.
Is he?
No.
That would be fucking funny.
Yeah, so,
don't
like,
do that to
Hilarious,
me.
though, wouldn't it?
That would have been fucking funny. Don't do that to me.
Now we talked. We did talk about
Undertaker
how-
is scared of me.
We did talk about how great. We did talk about how great Heenan was on commentary the other night. He had a bad call here because Kamala tries to attack the Undertaker from behind, but Undertaker sees it coming and he just goes at Kamala. He's like the aggressor. And Heenan says on commentary, how weird is it that Kamala's not the aggressor in this match? When it's Steve wrestling the freaking
Undertaker. What do you mean? What the hell do you mean, Heenan?
Well, like Kamala
That-
is foreign. and he's trying to Pearl Harbor Undertaker.
Okay, and
So
oh yeah, he's foreign, all right.
Image of Undertaker having a shoot interview while a fat ass Kamala is running down the hallway to deliver the Pearl Harbor clothesline will never be not funny.
It's hilarious. It's so good.
Permanently, you know the fucking animation OSW reviews did?
Yes.
For Owen just sitting there in the interview, and you just see, like, booking down the fucking hallway as Razor. Alright, now imagine that as Kamala with all the movement of his body.
Oh,
and that is the greatest visual ever.
It's so good.
Holy shit.
This is
I
what
want to watch it in the hallway.
So yeah,
hold on, this is what I
you
wrote
sound
for
like-
notes. This is what I wrote for notes. I said, Undertaker's majorly over at Wembley. What an entrance. Already mentioned that. Kamala's gimmick is supremely, and I do mean, emphasis on, supremely racist.
yeah,
I know it that it was really fucking dark in Wembley,
yeah.
and like the lighting is just not.
Oh
up to
no.
par.
Well,
The
I know what
fucking
you're gonna
state
say.
of Wembley, it
Yeah.
looks like shit.
It's so bad.
I thought, okay, Jack, I thought that you were going to go a different direction. I'm
With
glad
it's
you didn't
really
go there.
dark. Yeah, yeah, Kamala? Sure.
It was so, like, how did Taker see him coming?
Yeah.
He got out of the ring and then he disappeared.
That's yeah, that's fucked up,
But
man.
anyhow, going through this match, yeah, Taker was the aggressor right away, which apparently surprised Heenan for some reason. I don't think Kamala got like a lick of offense in really until like the finish.
He just did a bunch of clubbing shots all throughout the match, like outside
That's
the
all
ring.
Kamala does in every match.
And then I wrote, yeah, got no offense. Taker got a majority, and I said the match ends in DQ. What the fuck? LOL.
No, here's the DQ finish. Kimchi comes into the ring and hits Undertaker with his hat, and that led to the DQ.
Yeah.
finish.
My god, that's even worse.
Can you imagine walking up to Paul Heyman and saying, "Hey, Paul, I have a great idea. What is it? Undertaker versus Kamala. And Undertaker wins via no DQ because some little tiny dude in a luchador mask hits him with a fucking bat." He'd be like, "That is the death of professional wrestling. What are you doing?"
Yeah, right. For real.
It's so. And then afterwards, Kamala.
This match doesn't suck. It's swallowed.
Oh my god.
There's more. Afterwards, Kamala destroys the Undertaker. He hits his He hits one splash from the middle turnbuckles, then one off the top turnbuckles.
Yeah, he just splashes him 3 times. Then Taker sits up because by this point he was no-selling at this time. And then, bro, this is all I wrote. I said at least Taker won. 1 star only. Post-match shenanigans are fucking based. Kamala is so terrified of The Undertaker that he just has the funniest facial reaction when he sits right up. And then he falls to show how scared he is from getting up from 4 splashes. And he's literally tumbles like a tumbleweed, bro. It's unbelievable.
Am I the one that ever fucking notices that for some reason Kamala has the take the kids and put them in the fucking van hands?
Oh my god.
Like he does. He really has that like body, like snatch the kids into the van persona. Like he looks like that when you open up the fucking van. And it's like free candy. It's just Kamala looking at you. Ooh.
That was the match. Where's Kamala now? I don't even know.
What did I? Okay. I gave the match 1 star also. I don't know what you gave it, James. I gave it 1 star.
-5 stars.
Wow. You're putting this in the same category as Sherry versus Jenna Maraska.
It was pretty bad. The crowd was into it though, so that's why I stopped it from going any lower, honestly.
Okay, you ready? We're all gonna feel like assholes in a second because
Oh boy, yeah, he dies, doesn't he? Yeah.
yeah, and he has a pretty bad. So he had his legs amputated like a few years before his death, I believe. And
he has diabetes.
Yeah.
he had
did have
diabetes.
diabetes,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
So the reason for
no
that
offense, because
no,
you know,
the
I'm
reason
pretty
for
big.
that is because he didn't treat it properly.
Exactly.
So
And then-
to explain like why that happens, right?
Yeah.
The way that happens is because either when you're diabetic, at least type 1 diabetes, you bruise very easily.
Yeah.
And if you don't regulate your sugars properly, like if you don't regulate it with insulin, like a lot of people when they first get like diabetes, they're like, "Oh, I'll be fine. I just won't do it." The first thing they end up losing is their legs.
Yeah.
So
That's what happened.
yeah,
And then
which is
eventually-
probably what happened.
It wasn't necessarily the diabetes that killed him. It was also COVID, because I think he had COVID, but he tested positive for COVID.
I swear he died way before that, didn't he? Or was he
No,
still
he
alive
died.
until COVID?
He died in 2020.
Really?
Did he?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fuck.
Always awesome.
What the hell? How? Like how?
We found out.
How?
We found out.
I'm fucking floored by this. What?
I'll
That's
read it.
fucking funny.
I'll read
James,
it.
allow me. Allow me. I'm sorry, Owen. I'm sorry. I'm cutting it. This is fucking funny. I gotta say it. Do you think like Kamala, when he didn't have the legs, he would fucking do like Tony Hawk style like kick flips to get around?
Now he's got to do tech decks.
Now he isn't. Dude, he's the entire tech deck, dude.
No.
Look at him. He looks at the film already. It was perfect.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was the alien version without the arms.
All right. So here's what it says when you go on his Wikipedia. So August 5th, 2020, he tested positive for COVID-19 during the COVID-19 pandemic in Mississippi and was hospitalized.
How
He
old
like-
was he at this time?
Let's see. He was 70.
That's why.
Probably.
He likely contacted it from one of
And
his
he's diabetic.
numerous weekly visits to the dialysis center.
That's
His wife
fucked.
dead.
Oh,
That's
wow.
because he's diabetic.
Yeah. He started due to COVID. He started to experience complications from his diabetes. He went into cardiac arrest on August 9th, 2020, before
Yep.
dying later that afternoon at
That's
the
what
age
happens.
of 70.
That's you go into a coma.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what happens if you don't take care of your
It says shortly after his death, a GoFundMe page was started to help his family pay for his funeral expenses. The fundraiser ended up surpassing its original goal of $25,000, which raised a total of $32,664. Impact Wrestling executive Scott D'Amore donated $2,500 to the cause. Chris Jericho made a $5,000 donation. This was not the first time that Jericho had donated to a cause.
Yeah,
involving-
Jericho always does stuff like that anonymously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, other than his death and stuff, Kamala, though, pretty much just stayed in this spot. He went to USWA for a bit. He retired in '93, but then came back. He went to WCW in '95. He was a part of the Dungeon of Doom, believe it or not. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
for like
surprised
a cup
anybody.
of coffee, and then he freaking got released not too long after, I think.
He made sporadic appearances in 01. He was in the Gimmick Battle Royal. He actually put over Umaga. I believe this was like one of his last matches.
Yeah, he put over, I remember that match.
Putting over is a strong way to put that.
Fair enough. Lost to Umaga, or Umaga.
I had to go through all of that on the Kane Hayes show. Holy shit. Why?
Poor Owen had to leave, but yeah, I think that pretty much sums up Kamala's time. I think he tried to sue Vince because that's kind of what you do, I guess. So there you go.
It was probably really easy to get him out of the building.
Fucking hell, Mike! Wow.
What? I'm just saying.
I mean,
it's
like, they already made him a coffin.
building-
Like, Taker already made him one. So, like, why didn't they just use that?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you need to make a GoFundMe for, bro? God.
I'm gonna just be
Braun
honest.
Strowman had it right all this time, man.
Do you think it was half
Wrestlers
off?
these days.
If you are any form of wrestling fan, do we even really need to explain where the Undertaker is? I mean,
No.
he's a legend of the fucking business. Come on.
Fucking Michelle McCool.
What about Harvey?
And fucking Michelle McCool. That's fair. That we should at least mention that.
He's dicking her long style.
As for
Long style, brother.
Harvey Whippleman, he continued to be a manager. He managed Bertha Faye after Kamala, which is weird. He helped. He basically became a referee and a road agent starting in 1996. And he's basically retired now, so that's cool.
Cool. Yeah. Bertha Faye.
Kim Shi you can find on Facebook now. I'm actually friends with I don't know if I'm friends with him on Facebook, but I'm friends with our Kim Shi on Facebook. I don't think it's the real account.
You're friends with A Kim. I'm not sure if I'm friends with the kimchi, but
Or a kimchi. Yeah, I am friends with a kimchi. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Why does it look like a soup?
Yeah, Kimchi is the Brooklyn Brawler. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, just
I didn't even know.
Steve Lombardi. He was a total of about 6 different gimmicks. I'm pretty sure in the WWE/F.
I didn't even know he was. I didn't even know he was the Brooklyn Brawler until I just looked it up.
He was the Brooklyn Brawler, Abe Knuckleball Schwartz, Kimchi. I think there was like another gimmick that I'm forgetting. And believe it or not, for one night only, for Cena's lulz, for his 5 Questions with the Champ series, the Boston Brawler.
Oh my
and then the last gimmick, I count this, is him just being a censor word every time Cena swore on 5 Questions with the Champ. Which was a whole fucking trip. If you've never seen those, seek them out. That's actually funny Cena. Like, non-scripted Cena was fucking outstandingly funny.
Yeah. And we don't really need to mention the career of Paul Bearer, right? You know.
Paul Bearer was literally the reason for Undertaker Kane.
Yeah.
And then he died in kayfabe by being locked in a freezer thanks to Kane.
No, you forget he was supposed to have.
That's the retro.
Go ahead. Sorry, Owen.
He got covered by the concrete first and was supposed to have died, but then we found out that he just had injuries, and then he died. And then he died by being put into the freezer by Kane.
Oh yeah, and then when he died, then they used his ashes in an angle with Undertaker.
Yeah.
Because that's his role.
I mean, like, it was cat litter.
Yeah.
It's still the idea of it still there.
I think he would have loved that.
Probably.
Because he loved Punk.
Yeah, I think
I
so
don't know.
too.
It's just weird.
Yeah, he would have loved that.
Probably.
And Taker.
Oh yeah,
Taker would have
managed
been.
Punk. I forgot he managed Punk actually.
He was in ROH for a little bit.
Yeah, he did manage Punk. I forgot about that. So yeah, there you go. That's Paul.
Then we had the British Bulldog get interviewed. I'm assuming this video.
Oh my god!
I'm assuming.
Taste the drugs.
I'm assuming this was taped before he was high because he seemed fine in this interview. Unless they
Yep.
His promo was still shit.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. It was
really
bad.
bad.
The Queen has chosen me. I'm here for you. Sandwiches are an incredible treat.
See, it's funny because Shawn Moody's interviewing Bulldog, and I'm thinking the opposite that Owen thinks. I'm thinking Bulldog is so far gone that he could barely cut a promo. Is that him sober? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Oh my fuck! That's he had no hope.
There was so much spit forming out the corners of his mouth.
Yeah,
definitely nasty. A heart.
This was this was to talk about how he doesn't care if his brother if he's his brother-in-law. He's gonna walk out of here the Intercontinental Champion. So
yeah, whatever, man.
Not a good promo here. But you know the British Bulldog wasn't really known.
Brett though is a whole different.
He wasn't even known for wrestling.
Right, exactly. But Brett with Mean Gene on the other hand, right after this was a whole different story. He fucking was great here.
Yeah. contrary to popular belief, Brett is usually not a good promo. He is stale.
Right.
He's not a bad worker at all. He's not a bad character.
He's one of the best.
He's one of the best. On the stick, he's kind of meh. It's not the fact that he's green. He just has nothing to say.
Right, but...
And even when he does have something to say, he doesn't know how to say it.
Which is incredible.
It's a Hart family tradition, though.
Which is incredible, because when he actually cut the promo here...
it's good.
It's so good.
Because it's real.
It's so good.
It's real to him.
It's real to him, and it's crazy because he is cutting such a tremendous fucking promo that I genuinely think this might have been the genesis of what he would become in '97. Like, you literally could have put this in '97 and it would have fucking fit right in.
Brett mentions, like, hey, I introduced you and your wife together.
Like,
Keep
he was
in
the
mind,
heel.
I'm pretty sure that the wife of...
Diana.
I'm pretty sure she used to be with Bruce Hart or one of the other Harts.
Yes.
So there is some fucked up shit there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. But, it's crazy, like,
Brett,
the whole idea.
You son of a bitch.
The whole idea...
I'm trying to hook me up with your family, you fuck.
The idea of Brett cutting the promo that he does and playing the heel just for this match is fucking great. I mean, he was the heel for this match, no doubt.
Yeah,
the crowd helped it too.
Yeah, this was really good. I liked, Brett brought up how he doesn't care that if he is family, he's going to walk out Intercontinental Champion, mentions the fact that he introduced him to his sister in the first place. So he's the reason that he even is a Hart to begin with. It's just like, what a promo by Brett. Like,
see, what's great about this is Brett is actually working a heel promo here.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's talking about how ungrateful, like, the British Bulldog is. Talking about, you should be more grateful, mate. It's like, you only have success in this opportunity because I let you.
Yeah.
Which, oh boy, that hits very close.
Oh
that
boy,
hits.
Especially for this match.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah. And I think that was a shoot, by the way. This might have been taped as they were trying to figure out where the hell to place it on the card to get Bulldog back in the better fucking moments here.
Well, especially even before that, it was Brett that pitched this match to begin with, so, that even works that way, too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
And then we had Diana Hart get interviewed. She actually cut...
Oh, wait, hold on. We don't have Diana Hart getting interviewed yet. You're forgetting about one of the fucking most unsung heroes of this. For some reason, in Wembley Arena, or Wembley Stadium in England, Scotland the Brave is played by I think it's played by an English fucking pipe band, like pipe bag band.
Yeah.
And Roddy Piper comes out to play with them. What?
And he starts bellowing out this fucking thing.
Yeah, dude.
And people start... Even before fucking Roddy, plays, I don't know how it is on the network, because I didn't watch it on the network.
Right.
I found, a live copy. People started booing.
Oh.
Because it's Scotland!
Funny. As I would imagine! Why would you have this?
But the best part about this is Bobby Heenan says on commentary, I don't like these guys wearing these skirts and playing these vacuum cleaners. It was hilarious.
That was fucking funny, yeah.
There will never be a heel commentator like the fucking Brian.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's also a problem here with fucking Piper's bagpiping. Yeah, it's fucking pantomime.
Oh yeah, you could tell. You could tell. Oh, you can tell.
Can you tell that he snorted a line of coke before he walked out?
Coke is in the bagpipe, I heard.
No, look at his fucking... Okay, I always tell anyone, if you want to see how fucked up somebody is during this era, Look at their eyes and how fucking dilated their pupils are.
Or look at their nose and how
And
open they are and how much
And
snot's coming out.
Piper's
Yeah.
eyes were just his pupils.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, was he gone? He's like,
Yeah, he was fucking smacked out of his head. Speaking of smacked out of his head, they are stalling like crazy. So obviously we have the dark match that we couldn't see between Tatanka and who?
The Berserker.
Yeah, Tatanka and Berserker.
That happened before Taker.
No, it was after Taker.
No, it was shown like it was.
It was shown
recorded.
on your thing? Okay.
It was shoot recorded before.
Oh.
Yeah. What they did show is fucking Bruce Hart.
Okay, we didn't see this.
We didn't see this on
Did
the
you
network.
not?
No.
Oh my god!
Go ahead. Tell.
Holy shit!
Spill
I
the
have
tea.
never
Spill the tea.
seen a more jealous man in my life. Holy shit. Okay, so Bruce basically just fucking attempts his best to bury fucking British Bulldog. He sat there, Evader shades on, fucking like white shirt with red collar neck, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Like red, like white, like 80s t-shirt with a red collar, fucking puffy leather jacket, fucking bootstrap jeans with in front of a fucking ring in the back garden, no cover on it, just the wooden panels. What a fucking carny.
That's actually true, you know. I didn't even think about that. Oh my god. That's fucking outstanding.
I'm a carny heart.
That's Bruce.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, he's... So Bruce says, like, how big,
It's
like,
so
Brett's ego is, right?
Okay.
But he gets a load of digs in about British Bulldog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we had the Diane. Well, I guess we could. Should we really say what Piper is? Because he really doesn't play that much of a factor in the show, other than this match.
Piper ended up having a lengthy career and kind of really bad.
Should have won the title.
Should have won the title. Had really bad matches in WCW.
Yeah.
However, did cut probably the best promo of his entire career in WCW.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Did some really good promos in TNA.
Really good,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. He's
Very, very good.
He's a good mic talker, and I don't know why they would never fucking have him be the mouthpiece for a wrestler who can't talk.
Oh my god.
Roddy Piper versus
Like,
Bret Hart for the IC title was a fucking really good match.
Yeah, it's fucking
How
outstanding.
about when he's the special guest referee during fucking Backlund and Hart? And all he keeps doing the whole time is, do you want to give up? And they're all both are like, can you like fuck off?
That's true.
I do remember that.
I love that match.
It's
one of my
hilarious.
favorite. I love that match a lot because it's so good. You want to give up? Do you want to give up? And they're both just like, can you like fuck off, please?
Well, like at the very start, Brett like has like a move, and this is the match like Mike's talking about. Like, he has like a Backlund in like a movie. He asks Backlund like, "Do you want to give up?" And he's like, "No." And then like goes straight to Brett and says, "Do you want to give up?" And like Brett like laughs. He's like, "No, I'm good." It's hilarious.
It's really like fucking wholesome, and I don't know why.
It's really good. Yeah,
it's really good. I'm gonna watch that pay-per-view one of these times. It's good shit.
Yeah, Diana Hart here, fucking stone-faced bet. The fucking cut of her.
Yeah, this is where we're back to where we saw here.
What the fuck?
Back to the teeth.
What the fuck is she wearing?
Yeah. I don't know. She's wearing shit.
Who let her walk out like that?
Bulldog.
Davey Boy Smith let his missus walk out the house like that.
He's drugged up. He doesn't know.
The fucking state of her.
But, you know...
Oh my god, it's Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. What the fuck is
Go ahead, Owen. Go ahead.
So she gets asked about, you know, the match that they're going to have. And, you know, Diana says that she's really not rooting for anybody. She just wants to have this match happen. And, you know, basically said... Basically, basically, she says, that she's not, like I said, not really rooting for anybody. She just wants them to have a nice competitive match. Hopefully, that whatever
and not
happens
to kill
afterwards,
each other, and that she was like, and she actually sold the severity of the situation. Like, I'm scared they're actually gonna hurt each other so much that like they're both gonna get injured. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sweetheart. Only one of them is going to get injured incredibly bad, to the point that he will never wrestle again or live again.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hint. It's not the guy called Hitman.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Like,
Well, that wasn't necessarily his fault though. That was fucking WCW not informing their fucking talent. There's a trapdoor under
Yeah.
She
the
looks like
fucking ring.
she looks like she's out of the fucking. Is it the Malagalasa sisters? I don't know if anyone's gonna get that
I
reference
do
or
not.
not.
Oh,
get the
no.
reference,
Good sir, good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's strong.
That's a thinker.
So then we have
That's strong.
then we have probably what everyone is saying is possibly the greatest match to ever happen at SummerSlam, which I think it might be. I haven't seen every match that's happened at SummerSlam, but it's the best one I've seen. It's for the Intercontinental Championship. Bret Hart defended the championship against the British Bulldog. So
Yeah, who's the guy that comes out with Bret Hart, Owen?
Yeah.
You haven't got a fucking clue.
Yeah, we literally looked up his name earlier too.
I don't blame you for not having a clue. I just
Yeah.
wanted to fucking know. I genuinely wanted to know if you knew who this man was.
I don't watch sports anyway. So
He
I
was
wouldn't-
Well, this is from the 90s.
Yeah.
No one knows who this dude is.
He was.
I
I
see.
do know for a fact that he was apparently a British like heavyweight champion there.
He's a
in
British
boxing.
boxer.
Yeah, he was a British boxer and a top of his division. He was the champion.
Yeah.
What was his name again? I forget now.
Lexon Willis?
Lexington Lewis.
Lewis.
Lex
not
and
Willis.
Lewis.
Lewis.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, I want to paint this in perspective. So, I've reviewed this show back in 2014, and I had no idea about the history of this match. I mean, I knew like the storyline and stuff, but I didn't even know about the part about David Hart Smith, British Bulldog being high in this match.
Oh
so
boy.
Yeah.
So
Ballooned
So now I
out
gotta
of
do.
his fucking skull.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
He's
Owen.
gone the minute the bell goes off,
Yeah.
son.
Go
Um,
ahead, Owen, and talk.
We talked about the storyline. The storyline's pretty self-explanatory, but now let's talk about the backstage politics of this match.
Well, not even the
So-
backstage politics, just the fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
So apparently, David Boy Smith Jr. or not Jr. That's David Boy
that's his
Smith,
son.
the British Bulldog.
That's his son.
Yeah, the British Bulldog. Apparently all week, him and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and I believe Crush and probably Virgil, a ton of wrestlers were going out and getting high. Obviously, as you can see on this show. And Bret Hart and the British Bulldog had like this big match that they were going to do together. They went through every spot they were going to have. So then backstage, they had to go over it again. Bret Hart had to tell him about it because he was so high out of his mind that he didn't even know what was going on. Everyone would say high as a kite. I would say high as the moon. Probably higher than the moon.
He was towards Jupiter by this point. He was towards fucking Pluto. He was fucking gone. So here's the thing. So as they're talking backstage, he goes over the fucking match with Bret, right?
Yeah.
So he's finally getting over the high from the day before. The fucker goes apparently into a bathroom stall, gets high again, right? And goes out there with Lex and Lewis for the fucking entrance. Now, you don't notice anything's amiss in his face at the moment, right? You can tell maybe his pupils are dilated a little bit, but otherwise he looks fine. He looks like a normal dude ready for a fucking match.
Bret
Hart comes out. And he's doing his entrance. He gives his sunglasses to a kid in the front row. He gets into the ring, and the bell rings. He fucking forgets his spots again!
It's so bad. It's said that when Bret Hart gets him into the headlock, or when
He's
he puts
calling
Bret Hart in the-
spots. He's calling spots as he's telling them this. Bret, I forgot my spots again.
Yeah.
And
So
Brett's
Brett-
like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You're kidding me, right? You fucking got
So
high
Brett-
again?"
So Brett has to basically like carry this match. He has to go through the spots as the match is going on. I do gotta say they did a great job of covering it up. Like if you were just like a casual fan or never watched wrestling before, you would not even know that they're going through spots.
Yeah.
Even as a hardcore fan, you know what's happening, but you're still left guessing. Like, are they going through spots too? Or is this like actually?
Yeah, they
supposed to happen?
do a really good job of like stalling a little bit, like so they could go through their whole match, and it's fucking unbelievable what Brett was able to. Brett honestly is a fucking magician for this. I don't know how he pulled it off with how fucked up he was.
Because Bret Hart could have a match with a broom
Yeah.
and make
He
you
essentially
believe
did.
that the broom is doing offense.
He essentially
He
did.
essentially did.
Yeah.
It is still forever the fucking dream matches. Because they never got to properly do it.
Go ahead, Owen. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, yeah. I said he essentially did have a match with a woman.
He was fucked up. Yeah, he was fucked up. He was gone.
I'm okay. I'm just all fucked up.
Bro, he was so gone, and it's like you could see it, like right. So we know what we know now, so we're looking out for these spots, and you can tell in headlocks and Brett like talking. It's almost like he's talking shit, but he's actually calling spots, right? You could also see Bucket Davies' face start slowly drooping because of how fucking high he is. Did anybody else notice this when, or am I the only one that caught this?
Yeah, I noticed.
Okay.
With what?
With Davey Boy's getting his entire face like getting droopy as the match is progressing. Are you?
You have to keep in mind as well that like he's running these spots that Brett is doing, so
Right.
he's not only like off his fucking head, he's also getting blown up very quickly.
Right.
Which is why every time like Brett would do a thing like he did like a kitchen sink, which kind of alluded that maybe he caught him in the balls, and he's like, and then like the crowd kind of boo a little bit, and he's like, what? It's like, don't fucking boo me. Yeah. Like he didn't bait them, but he kind of like disapprovingly scowled at them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I had to fucking wrestle with the dude who got high 3 times on a weekend,
Well,
I'd be fucking pissed too.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, what I'm trying to say is that Brett used his brains.
right.
Yeah.
He didn't. He managed to get, like Bulldog some time to kind of figure his shit out and like breathe a little bit, and then go through the next few spots. Because when like Bulldog tries to jump off the fucking top rope, he doesn't even like go into a landing position. He just fucking cracks his fucking head into the ground. I'm like, you idiot.
It still worked for the spot though. The only spot that you would really notice is a miss, but protected it well was British Bulldog goes for like a springboard high cross body to the outside. And I think Brett was meant to counter it or something.
No, Brett is the one who did the springboard. I know what you're talking about. Brett vaults for a crossbody over the ropes, and fucking Bulldog has no idea where he is and doesn't catch him, but he turns it into a fucking reverse DDT.
He turns it into a sling blade.
Right.
Yeah, it's a sling blade.
Like, which I don't think that move has ever been done, and it was a total botch, but it didn't look like anything was amiss. Like, it looked like it still fucking hurt Bulldog. So that was like the spot there.
You know what I love? The little detail that I like noticed while I was watching this when they got back in the ring. The Wembley Stadium staff was stood on the stairs on hard camera and they were watching the match. They hadn't watched any of the matches that were happening in Wembley Stadium. Because you can see them all in their fucking like high-vis like orange coats that say Wembley Stadium
security, yeah.
People were watching, the staff were watching the match.
Yeah.
Everybody
was invested. They wanted Bulldog
that was
to
like
win.
that was like really cool.
Everybody in that arena wanted Bulldog to come
And
out.
keep in mind, these aren't wrestling fans.
Yeah. They wanted their hometown guy to win. Like they came for Bulldog. It was all for Bulldog.
Yeah.
And
then it cuts to fucking Diana Hart scowling again.
And she's crying in some cases as well. Like,
I get the feeling that she doesn't like wrestling.
probably not. I would imagine.
She's probably like, these fucking. I married into a family of. I'm a part of a family
fucking
of
idiots.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you wearing spandex? It's Friday. What are you doing? Get you stupid fucking leather chaps out of my face, Michael. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
I'm really not.
Go ahead.
I'm really not going over this match spot for spot. Just go watch get a Peacock subscription, find this match somewhere, and watch it for yourself. It's so good. You need to just see it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's definitely the number 5 if you were to make the top 5, with like one being like Michaels and Hunter in like 2002.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe, probably. If you're talking SummerSlam, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe,
right up there, man. It's right up there.
Like the matches I would put, I would say maybe the matches I would put is maybe that. Yeah, the Triple H Shawn Michaels match. I'd throw in maybe the Fatal 4-Way match for the Universal title at SummerSlam 2017.
Really? I would put. Honestly, if it was me, I'd put Bret and Bulldog, Cena, AJ, Brock and Angle, Rock and Brock, and fucking Shawn and Hunter.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, if you're talking one-on-one, I would find a way to get that TLC match, the first one, in there somehow.
Yeah. I'd find, honestly, even though I might be recency bias, I might put Jericho versus Benoit in the 2 out of 3 falls match. That was a good one too.
Yeah, that was really. Yeah, but I feel like their best match was definitely Rumble in the ladder.
Yeah, and then maybe I'm trying to think of another one.
There's too many to.
Angle versus Ray at.
I wouldn't say that's the best opener though. Probably.
Yeah.
In the history of like one of the best openers, I would say.
Maybe one day we'll do a list on it and we'll watch all the openers and all the.
Yeah, I'm not doing a tier list. Fuck that.
But anyhow, just go watch this match. It's really that good.
Yeah, I mean, it was
15, Burger King foot lettuce. Number 14, Burger King foot lettuce.
No, stop it. The best. We're gonna just get right to the end.
Oh no, I want to make one point.
Go ahead.
Actually,
oh,
there's a dubs point. Thanks, Mike. There's a dub spot between Bret and Bulldog, where Bret kind of hooks Bulldog into a sharpshooter.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
It's known that Bret apparently did this multiple times while he was in bed with his wife to see if he could get it right, which I find really funny.
Yeah, it is.
Could you imagine being a wrestler and being like, "Hey,
I told my wife."
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, darling, can I try this on you?" She's like, "All right," and then you you're both naked in bed and you're just tangling your legs around. And she's like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?"
That fucking I did not know he did that in bed. That is
hilarious.
So differently now.
That's even funnier because it's Bret Hart.
Bret Hart is doing that to Bulldog in this match. He did that because I don't know if he ever did it before this.
I don't think he did. I don't think he's ever.
Fucking crazy.
I don't think he's ever done it again either.
That's fucking nuts.
But yeah, after the match,
which by the way ends with a fucking jackknife pin cover where Bulldog has him in like a fucking it's like a Hurricane Rana style pin but without the Hurricane Rana and gets him in the 3 count and the fucking crowd went ape shit. I mean fucking ape shit, man.
Yeah.
I wrote in my notes, this is all I wrote in my fucking notes. 5 stars all day, every day. Bret Hart carrying Bulldog to the biggest win of his career puts Bret in a league of his own. What a fucking match.
Yeah.
That's all I wrote. That's all I wrote.
There's a big celebration afterwards. Diane Hart comes into the ring to celebrate, and Bret Hart we're not really sure what's going to happen. Bret Hart ends up shaking his hand, really good stuff. Great, fantastic match. knowing what we know with the whole drug thing, like, this deserves the 5 stars just because of what Bret was able to accomplish here.
Like it will never happen again in a million years.
Unfortunately, Bret Hart, the British Bulldog's Intercontinental title run really wasn't left to be desired, though. I think he only showed up like 3 times, and then he ended up losing the belt to Shawn Michaels anyways. I really wouldn't have had a problem with that. It's just the guy like was going to.
Well, that was the plan anyway. The plan, they literally had a backstage meeting. OSW covered this pretty well.
No, I'm saying that it's a shame that the British Bulldog's title reign itself kind of sucked. Like he didn't show up all that much.
Yeah, well, that was the plan anyway. He wasn't going to show up that much. He was literally going to be a transitional champion. It was just it was just the idea for the London crowd to get that feel-good moment.
The British Bulldog lasted a little bit longer in the WWF. Wasn't he one of the first? I know European champions. I believe.
And then lost it to Michaels.
Yeah,
in the UK, and promised his sister that he would win it.
Yeah.
When she was dying of cancer. Fuck you, Shawn. Anyway.
Yep. And then the British Bulldog shortly left the WWF. He went to WCW. You basically mentioned what happened with his WCW run, so we don't really need to go into that, really. Then he went back to WWF, where he looked really out of shape. Like, he doesn't even look like the same guy. Worked a program with The Rock. Lost the program with The Rock.
Oh, boy, did he lose it. He got fucking rock-bottomed and dug, boop.
Yep. And then, he pretty much, after that run, he pretty much just, he did some things in the wrestling business. When did he die? I know he died like
when
shortly
did
after.
He die? Did anybody know off the top of their head? I think it was like 03.
2003 or 4?
I think that's when he
2002.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus. Never mind. Completely off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, as for Bret Hart, he went on to be like one of the best. I mean, even though he was at the time, he really just elevated his ability in the wrestling and elevated his profile even more.
I mean, this match alone is probably what gave him the WWF title, even if it wasn't a fucking house show like Jack mentioned. But they gave him the title multiple times. They made him like the top guy for a while after this, until Vince decided, he was too much money to afford, and then screw him, even though he didn't have to screw him because it was already covered by Jason Solomon. The contract never expired at Survivor Series 97. You fucking dick, Vince. Then he went to WCW, had a lackluster career, and then that came to an end because Goldberg decided to mule kick him and not pull back, and that caused him to basically semi-retire until he was forced to fully retire after a series of strokes and complications after the concussion, because he worked on the concussion prior to him going into semi-retirement. So he ended up being retired, came back to WWE, fucking had a really shitty fucking program with Vince, an even shittier one with The Miz, retired as U.S. champion, and that was it. I mean,
wow, that's sad.
It's
like
sucks.
That just made
like I feel like this family was cursed, honestly.
Yeah.
In a way, I kind of blame the fucking promoters and the carny aspect of the business, which kind of is fucking funny considering who their father is.
Yeah.
Or in Bulldog's case, father-in-law.
Yeah. That's SummerSlam 1992. We kind of went over how successful it was. It was a hugely successful show. It's largely regarded as one of the greatest SummerSlams and probably one of the greatest pay-per-views to ever take place.
I would say more successful, because, great and successful are two different things. But from a business perspective, this did gangbusters.
Yeah. No, but I looked it up, and it's actually, like, widely reviewed as one of the greatest, SummerSlams, at least, of all time.
I think that's... I wouldn't say it's the greatest.
No, that's going to be the...
That's going to be O2. It's got to be O2. Because O2 just, from a pure match perspective and character perspective, was probably better than everything on this card. I mean, you had some dog shit on this show.
Yeah. I'm gonna give the show an A-. You had a fantastic main event, a great WWF title match, good opening match, all things considering, and the match with Shawn Michaels and
And
Ricky
Rick Martel for the storytelling, and even the Beverly Brothers and the Earthquake and Typhoon. That was pretty good.
You had some good interviews throughout the show too with Mean Gene and stuff. So, and like I said, the crowd from an overall
the crowd helped the show immensely.
Yeah,
I mean, even for the wank matches, without them, I think the show would have probably done less.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Wank matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta remember that's that British slang, James, that came back to bite you right there. So.
Yeah, I know. Bro, I watched The Sidemen. What do you mean? I know fucking British slang.
Oh my god, I know so much about culture because I watch a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm a culture weeb. Anyway.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for the
fucking culture appropriating.
That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and share this video if you want to watch it. We're not going to promote anything really upcoming because this is being filmed ahead of time.
We can promote at least our channels and shit, so that's what we'll do. We'll rapid fire that. Kuzan, go.
Oh, I don't know. I'm playing through Silent Hill 2 at the moment as this is going out on Twitch.tv.
Maybe not though.
/Firelord Kuzan. Yeah.
And then also on Twitter at Firelord Kuzan as well. Or X Firelord Kuzan X is his username. And YouTube.
Title.
What about your YouTube?
Oh, it's Firelord Kuzan.
There you go. Check him out. Mike, go.
Oh, I think we lost
That's
audio.
it.
Oh, no, we didn't lose audio.
No, that was it. That's all I wanted to say.
At Hell's Warrior 25 on Twitter. There you go. That's
well, even though I don't fucking post or do anything on there.
Yeah, there you go. Owen, go. Actually, you know what? I'll go next because you actually host the show. That makes no sense. Follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/user/jhubert95. Follow our WYW account as well, which all of us are a part of, youtube.com/user/WYW Pride. Follow me on Twitter at jhubertside95, and follow also our confidant, a part of FTW Productions as well, Casey Gallagher, at youtube.com/metalnut1120. So there you go.
Nice. So as for me, subscribe to this channel for, if I'm still doing them by then, AEW Spoke, more retros, and, whatever else is going to be on this channel. It could be a rundown.
Fantasies are in the can. We got some stuff coming out.
And then we have Owen the Talkinator and CM Brothers. Maybe there'll be videos on there when this comes out. So you never know.
So there you go.
And then that's it. Everything else is in the description if you want to like and follow it. Some of it's dated, some of it's not.
Anybody have any closing remarks before Owen does the catchphrase to lead us out?
Don't watch Clash of the Castle. It's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be really bad.
I agree.
I'll say
I am gonna return to my planet.
I'll say my closing remarks. Talk to you later. And since this is being filmed in the past, in the future.
We doing all the classics, you heard it, then I grabbed it. Flow like Method Man, then run like I'm Rabbit. Soon as I hear the bass line, it be my FaceTime. Music's in my veins, so just in case I'm without my iPod or a media player, I'll check my...